Hello?
Bobby,
Yeah.
¿qué dices?
Oh, Danny, ¿cómo está? How are you?
What happened? Did you not know it was your son?
I didn't recognize you. I was expecting a phone call from an inspector, so I thought that was the call.
What are you
I was wrong.
What are you getting inspected?
A new roof. I put a new roof. I'm trying to get some money from the estate, so they got to inspect the work. Then I get some money back, but I had to put the money up front first. How you doing today?
You don't like putting the money up front.
Well, what can I tell you? I got no choice. That's the way the estate operates. If you want to get a refund, you got to pay it first. Show proof of payment, proof of inspection, and then if you're lucky, you're going to get some money back. So what's happening, buddy? What happened to the Celtics? Oh, the butcher was on fire last night.
He really was, Bobby. Thibodeau got it done last night. Whoa.
He got it done. I'm telling you, he's my man. He was on fire last night. I saw that movie before a couple of nights ago. Same shit.
Bobby, are you aware that sometimes you say I'm telling you, and then what comes after that is you not telling me much of anything?
Well, what do you mean? I I'm surprised. Didn't you enjoy the game last night?
I want both of the teams to lose, and then to get in a small bus accident on the way after the game. But nobody gets hurt. Who you
want to see? Look at what is happening to the Joker. They choke again. Okay, see, it's too much for the Joker.
Who?
And the other sidekick. What's the other guy's name?
You tell me.
I forgot the guy from Canada. I forgot that. I forgot his name.
You can come
That's
up
okay.
with it.
He's sidekick.
Who's the Joker's sidekick? Tell me.
All right. The Canadian guy.
Go ahead. What's his name? I know, but what's his name? Let's see if we can find his name.
I forgot his name. Bennett, Jason Bennett.
That's a good guess.
Like that.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
If I were to give you, okay, I'll give you a hint. You ready?
Yeah.
Jamal.
Oh, Jamal Brown.
Yes, that's exactly right, Poppy. It's the Joker and Jamal Brown.
I got the Joker right. That's the most important
It is
part.
right. You're absolutely right. All right. I want to do a little quiz. Can we do a little quiz?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead.
What is the name of Oklahoma City's best player?
Jose Gonzalez. He's the Cuban guy.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Poppy. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. You came for one, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in a cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
So I thought that Stugotz today was taking a step back, but he's stepping up and will be here shortly because this is the best feeling that there has been around the Knicks this century. The last time it felt this good was 10 minutes before LeBron's decision when they thought he was going there. And what is happening with the Knicks has made Stugotz rush in. He's late, but rush in and get stuck in traffic. And now he's got to be enraged. He will be here shortly. We are waiting him. And I'm genuinely excited about today's show because we've only been on the air 20 years. I have never done a show when alleged Knicks fan Stugotz has felt good about his team. Today will be the first time I get to do that, so what you're going to be introduced to is someone I have never seen, I'm assuming, Stugotz as his most obnoxious Knicks fan when he hasn't watched a game in 8 years. And what happened to me last night, just like in Game 1, is again one of the strangest sports experiences I have ever had as a fan. I go into Game 1 and I'm like, I don't even want to watch this. I don't want anyone on either of these teams to feel good about anything. And more than that, I do not want their fans to have 1 ounce of pleasure the remainder of my life. Because it's not the players I hate. In fact, I'm embarrassed to say it, kind of love Jalen Brunson. I want to everyone's got to. In fact, put it on the poll. Are you fundamentally obligated to fall in love with Jalen Brunson right now? Because Jalen Brunson already has a moment in the last series to end it I've never seen Jason Tatum have. Give me a play Jason Tatum's made in his life more memorable than how it is that Brunson ended the Pistons. Somebody, anybody.
Dunking on LeBron?
You think?
I mean, that was a pretty good moment.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Better moment, Jalen Brunson against the Pistons or Jason Tatum dunking on LeBron? We'll get to Tatum in a second because all of American sports fan expectations need to land today on the back of his neck. You are a champion, and I've almost never said this about a champion. Prove to me you deserve to be one. Because last season, do what Brunson does. Brunson's the smallest player on the court. I look at you and just physically, I know you're the best one. But what are you going to do? Oh, fade away again? Brunson got the foul shots. It's end of game time. It is end of game time. You give the ball to Brunson, Knicks fans know what's going to happen there. And when he misses a 1-foot layup, they don't even blame him because they know what he is. He's the best clutch player in the NBA, empirically. Does more in the fourth quarter than anybody. Tatum? The only thing left to have on Tatum's resume, it's incredibly bejeweled for his age. Where are the moments? It's end of game time. Knicks fans, I know they trust Brunson. Celtics fans, I don't know if they trust their best guy. And now it closes in. Now, Boston's the best team. Are they the best road team in the history of the league? History of the league. I know they are this year the best road team, but are they best road team in the history of the league?
I think they've won a road game in 11 straight series and multiple wins in 6.
I was trying to think on my way in, and I never looked it up because life gets busy, but there was a series a few years ago where the 8 seed went on the road, won the first 2 games, and then the next 4 games were just won by the 1 seed.
It was the Bulls against Celtics, actually.
Thank you. So I just forgot it. But so I don't actually expect the Knicks to win this series. I do not. But whatever pressure it is that could come to bear on Jason Tatum, Game 3 is going to feel as pressurized as anything he's ever lived. New York has been bad at home, like legitimately bad at home. I mean, I don't trust them at all at home. I expect Boston to go in there and smoke them because they've been up by 20 in the last 2 games, and I do not expect the Knicks to win a third one. But I did not expect Boston to be in this kind of trouble. Like, just did not see this coming at all. That Knicks team is okay, but it's got flaws and flaws that could and should be exposed by Boston. Boston is a good deal better than that Knicks team, and the Knicks team can't actually just do it in matchups either, where you say, I think the Knicks match up okay with the Celtics. Okay, you can think that, but the Celtics are a good deal better than the Knicks.
Dan, Tony and I were having this conversation right before the show started. Joe Mazzulla, who we talked about in the past, does his little antics in the press conferences and trying to be quirky and kind of aloof and better than everyone else. And what we said at the time, if you remember, was you can do that now, but the moment this thing starts to slip away, watch out. it's starting to slip away. And so I asked the question, Dan Le Batard. The Celtics have lost the first 2 games at home in the playoff series. Only 5 teams have come back from that in NBA history to win that series. Joe Mazzulla has had this situation happen to him now twice in 3 years. Happened in 2023 against the Heat, and now it's happening to him against the Knicks in 2025. And so I ask, at what point does he become Doc Jr., right? Because to blow a 2-0, to blow home court advantage completely in your first 2 games, I don't know of another coach where it's happened to him twice in his career. It's happened twice in this guy's 3 seasons.
It is fairly amazing to think that Amin is asking that about coaches who won 1 title in Boston, and we can now still remember, even though Doc Rivers is a champion, that he's not associated with champion. Doc Rivers is associated, even though he's won a title, with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, who we'll get to in a second. He's got a debt to pay.
Oh, boy.
Doc Rivers is one of the few people on earth who's a champion in sports, and his reputation is you don't know how to win. You fumble away every situation. And Joe Mazzulla, I heard Zaslow 2 days ago ask the question that I didn't even think unfair. Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach? And I want to ask you guys the question. Does he have the best postseason winning percentage ever? Like how close? Like what is Mazzulla's postseason winning percentage? I know when I say ever, I'm exaggerating, or it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I am actually curious what Mazzulla's postseason record is. It's obviously a small sample, but I don't think in a small sample I've ever asked of a coach who's a champion, is he a good coach? It's a ridiculous question I'm asking, is it not? I mean, you're an expert. Like, I am asking an absurd and ridiculous question. Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach? In fact, Juju, put it on the poll. And it's got to hurt Juju to put this on the poll as a Celtics fan. I can't imagine how mad Juju is right now at this team. Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach? Just by the way, I want everyone to know this because I want to sink in. I want it to fall on Jason Tatum's head, the following. The New York Knicks and their fans, a fan base that has been frustrated for 25 years and hasn't felt this good in 25 years. They absolutely trust the smallest player on the court to break every team's heart. I will say this. Jay Williams said the other day that he said that Brunson is the best player the Knicks have had. He is not, okay? I still think Patrick Ewing is that player. However, I will say this. He has a chance to be, and he is already, the most beloved New York Knick there has ever been. In that town, there has never been a more popular basketball player than Jalen Brunson is right now.
Walt Clyde Frazier would like a word.
At Le Batard Show, who is more popular with New York forever? Walt Frazier? And that's fair, I mean, it's fair what you're saying. Or Jalen Brunson, because I would say in the internet age where sports are more shared than they used to be, I cannot believe how much my New York friends love Jalen Brunson. I am late to this party. Forgive me for this because I've never had a viewing experience like this.
You're forgiven. Thank you.
Game 1. I'm watching Knicks Celtics, and I go into the game, and I'm like, I don't even want to watch this. And then I'm saying to myself, I wonder who I'm going to root for at the end of this. I do not know. I don't know. So I watched the whole game. And at the end of the game, and this is the history, it's just recent history versus long ago history. It's Brunson versus Clyde Frazier, really. It's what New York Knicks team do you remember? The one that I remember is the one that made me love basketball more than I used to because the way the Knicks and Heat fought, I'd never seen anything like that ever watching basketball. And so I grew as a young reporter in this town to have my heart broken when the Knicks, as an 8 seed, beat Pat Riley, who would become my friend, with Allen Houston bouncing the ball on the rim. That broke my heart. I hate the New York Knicks. I hate their fans more. The Boston Celtics are more recent, as I've seen my friend Pat Riley age. Good God, does he hate the Celtics? The last 5 years, is Pat Riley still fighting the Boston Celtics? That man still won't speak to Larry Bird if they're in a room together. I've seen the last 5 years of whatever this Heat thing is, fight and claw and try, and the architecture can't quite get up to where all the Celtics' first-round picks are. You're just so close and gets past it, but now the gap is spread, and now my friend ages and is 80 and limping around, and he finds himself, mocked, and Stephen A. Smith says fire him, and the Celtics are on top. So I'm watching the end of the game, and what comes over me at the end of the game is like, I can't believe this. I don't want the Knicks to win. I'm surprised by this, but I don't want the Knicks to win, because back when I was a young guy, that hate boiled in me as a sports fan, and it doesn't reach where I am today, where I don't care like that anymore. The series, the last. But I'm sure today's sports fan had found Boston, Miami to be fascinating and emotional, and it was. But I like Knicks Heat better just because those dudes were physically fighting. Jeff Van Gundy was on Alonzo Mourning's calf. Like Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, the entire series, everyone knew those guys are going to fight. Like that's not going to stay down. And so whatever that was as a young man created a feeling that at the end of the game, I'm watching and I find myself rooting for Bill Simmons. No, but that happened to me. I couldn't help it. That happened to me.
No way.
So with all the friends you have in all the different places, you chose Bill Simmons as the friend to go for?
Well, because the other thing, too, is to root against the Celtics would be to root against Mike Schur, to break Mike Schur's heart. And to, like, Mike Schur has to be really scared right now because God almighty, Celtic fan got cocky the last 2 years.
So instead of Mike Schur, you're like, I'm gonna pass Mike Schur and I'm gonna go to Bill Simmons. Is he at the top of the Celtics pyramid?
I think for sports fans, they associate that media member with that team more than anybody.
Mike Schur may or may not have called last night's performance utterly embarrassing.
Yeah, well, so Celtics fan. So imagine this: I have seen generations of Knicks and Celtics fans grow loud and obnoxious. Like I've watched it; it's been fascinating to watch. Mike Schur used to run Fire Joe Morgan. Fire Joe Morgan at the beginning of the internet age, all these comedy writers on the side were just making fun of sports writing, how terrible it was, how awful the analysis was. All these people in comedy writing were miles smarter than anyone doing the sports writing. Those people from Fire Joe Morgan are still the same kind of fan. Mike Schur is a crazy person. Every day I'll get something from an umpire who missed a strike in Seattle call, and I'll get a chart because he's watching everything and his brain doesn't work like anyone else's.
Mike Ryan. Tatum had how many? Mike Schur. Who cares? Bums. The Knicks suck. This is so much worse than losing to the Heat.
All right, I'm just going to say this. Tatum is shooting 1 for 12 for 6 points in 2 fourth quarters so far. He's 12 for 42 in the series, but in 2 fourth quarters, Brunson time, 6 points as they cough up 20-point leads.
Not only that, you can say that Mikal Bridges has been outplaying Jason Tatum in this series, right? Is that a crazy thing to say? Like, you talk about the 5 first-round picks, you look across of what he's been doing defensively, too. It's like Mikal Bridges has a couple legs to stand on.
He does have 2 legs to stand on.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does Mikal Bridges have a couple legs to stand on?
I don't know if he'll ever earn 5 first-round pick status, but 2 defensive game-winning plays in a row.
I mean, what do you want?
That's the way you make people forget about how many picks you went for a very long time. If they win this series, like he has his fingerprints all over it indelibly. But, Dan, I got to go back to this is a team, the Boston Celtics, who thought and you believed as of 2 days ago, hey, man, that's just tears. Hey, man, they broke the math on the sport. Hey, man, they just know they're smarter than everybody else, and Brad Stevens built a team that nobody else could compete with. Hey, man, that's the best team over the last 2 years. And what you're seeing now is, yeah, you can't build an entire thing on feast or famine. You have to be able to adjust because they're not robots. You have to be able to adjust and say, this isn't working. We need to attack the basket more. We need to make a bigger effort again to the free throw line. We need to vary it up a little bit. And what's happened is these guys have failed because they play for a coach who encourages them, who tells them, we're not playing wrong. We're just missing shots we usually make, or we're just making shots we usually miss.
The thing is, when you play that math game of like, we're going to try to put up as many threes as possible, and then you get a cold streak like this, I mean, like this could last the whole series. Like KP's out. We don't know what's happening.
Well, wait a minute. So let's ask this question real quick. Can it last the whole series? Because it is a lot of small sample size theater. And I mean, I think we're headed toward, I may have this wrong. I started down this path yesterday and we never got there. Basketball has been very predictable throughout my lifetime. And I'm wondering if the randomness of threes is going to make it so it's about to become vastly less predictable come this time of year because of things like this. The Celtics have missed more three-pointers in this series than any team has ever missed in 2 games consecutively. That's crazy. So in 2 games, they're shooting 25%. No team has ever shot and missed 75 threes in 2 games.
But Dan, that highlights my point, which is the idea that, like, no team has done that. Why? Because typically they say, guys, it's not going. Let's try to get something, go to the basket, get some easy ones, get to the free throw line, and then, like, try to play out of that. But the Celtics say no. We're just going to keep barreling through it because the numbers will bear out. But again, it is not a numbers game. It is a human game. Humans are playing this. And yes, I'm not saying I'm not an ogre. I'm not saying three-pointers are bad or whatever. I'm saying 2 things. Number one is, hey, if it's not going in, maybe try something else. Just until you can get back to it. But the second thing, and this is important, I made this joke yesterday, and I didn't really explain it when I said you guys missed the Tyrone Hill 18-footer, right? But the reality is the importance of the three-point line rests with your role players. They're there to be a deterrent, to help defense, helping on your stars, allowing your stars to have forays to the basket, to exist in the mid-range, to post up, to do all these things that the most talented among us get to and can do at a high level, right? That's what's happening, or what should be happening. When you look at a Warriors game and you marvel at, oh my God, Steph Curry hitting all these shots, the reality is everyone exists to give Steph Curry the space to do whatever he wants, right? And that's on the ball and off the ball. We're moving and we're passing and we're cutting and we're getting baskets. And if they're so concerned with stopping that guy, guess what, Draymond? You're going to have Jimmy Butler cutting back door. Guess what? You're going to have Kevon Looney ducking in. Guess what? You're going to have Jonathan Kuminga on a lot. All these things happen because they're worried about the three-point line, not because all we're going to do is shoot threes all day long. That's the big issue. It's this dogma, this zealotry, right? This belief that this is the only way and anything else is you're playing dumb basketball.
There's no body movement for the Celtics offense. That's really frustrating to watch because even at the end of the game, that final possession where Jason Tatum is going one-on-one against Mitchell Robinson, there's nothing else happening. So as he's trying to get by one-on-one and using moves, there's no other options for him. And if you look at it, there was a stretch where they went up 16 with like 8:30 to go. 7 of their next 10 possessions ended with a three-point attempt. When you're up 16 with that much time left, it's not just missing threes. It's the time you're deciding to take them. And that's the part of the Celtics offense that's a little bit confusing.
I would say a couple of things to what it is that you guys are saying there, because they're not going to change what they do. And they shouldn't. This team, hold on a second, okay? In the last 6 years, this is the second time in 564 games, regular season playoffs, that the Celtics have gone 2 straight shooting 25% from below 3. The second time in 564 games. They won the championship last year and won it easily because they are better at this version of this ugly thing that Barkley always feared the Warriors of Steph and Clay would become and basketball would become. Everybody more and more on the perimeter, and it's no more beauty of the game. It's just awful when you miss 75% of your threes. Nobody even wants to watch it. The watch. When I'm watching the Celtics. They are a historically great shooting team. And I'm here to tell you those numbers will revert to the mean because they're great at that thing. And also, Jason Tatum is a slicer, and they'll figure out how to get more points. He will play more aggressively. He will get foul calls. The Knicks are not going to run away with this series because the Celtics are going to shoot 25% from three the rest of the series on uncontested looks from three. Those are uncontested. That's not great. Like Bridges was great last night. His perimeter defense is great. That team's perimeter defense is great. Bridges nearly outscored the Celtics by himself in the fourth quarter. He was great. But the Celtics won a championship last year easily because they do that better than anyone. And the threes they've missed, it ain't because the Knicks are making them miss them. They're just missing them.
Dan, I think you're going process over results, but I'm going process over results more than you are. Process off. That's what
Let's have a process off. Let's do it right now. You know what? What's this look? All right, let's do it. What does that look like? Somebody get me a calculator, get me some spreadsheets, get me some materials that I can process off here. You know what? This is the future of sports debate right here,
Process offs?
Right here. Let's do a process off, you and me. Last night's game, this is a better way to do this. You know what? Should I wait for Nick Wright to do this? Nick
Did
Wright,
the process off?
Look, let's set this up this way. Let's do this way. Nick Wright is going to join us, and I believe that Nick Wright is legitimately the best sports media person doing it right now, combining analytics and smart and funny and understanding that this is all pro wrestling and it needs to be entertaining. I think right now in our business, there's no one better doing sports television and sports commentary than Nick Wright. And I want to challenge him right now. You know what? Let's build this up. Nick Wright wants to be rivals and nemesises with Mina and Pablo because Mina and Pablo are going to be furious when they hear that I say that Nick Wright is the best. Furious. He wants to compete and be better than everyone. Well, Nick Wright, we're about to surprise you with a process off, and we're not going to give you any notice, and our whole crew is going to start the new game show, Process Off, where we talk about the result of last night's game, and I bet you we can trap and bury Nick Wright when he tries to come for the king.
We're not doing the process off right now.
I want to prepare for the process off. I want to have a process.
Amin was ready already.
I want to have but we're going to be even more ready with planning and coaching and Coach Amin, who I'm pretty sure, and I don't know where Stugotz is yet, probably still in traffic. He's going to come in hot because of traffic. But Amin, I think a show or two ago, you told me you were not a Knicks fan.
That's right. Oh, this old thing that I'm wearing right now? Oh, this was completely different. I actually asked Chris. I had this on the topic list for days now, which was old clothes, right? Like Zaz came in wearing stuff from like 2015, acting like we should be impressed. I present to you right now a 1994 Anthony Mason replica jersey, which I discovered. I forgot about this. Check the back. It's autographed. Wow. By the late Anthony Mason. Heat legend Anthony Mason, I might add. Once a Nick, always a Nick.
I might shock some people in this room right now who are not young enough or not old enough to know this. Do you guys know who the brother of Anthony Mason is? Do you guys know the name of his brother?
Steve Mason.
Jackie Mason.
It's former Dolphins quarterback Jay Fiedler.
Hold the
No.
Now,
It is.
I
Nope.
don't
It is.
know
It is.
how.
Is that a brother from another mother situation?
This
Eskimo
is
brother?
Interesting.
But they're brothers legally. They're legally
Is this
brothers.
a blindside situation?
I want you guys to look it up. You guys didn't know that. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
Anthony Mason and Jay Fiedler.
Is it?
No, I didn't have that one, Dan.
All right, well, you're young. You're too young to know. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it possible that Anthony Mason and Jay Fiedler are brothers?
Did we have Sandra Bullock teaching Anthony Mason, this is how you set a screen? Right. You get your wide, And you don't move until your guard moves.
I will continue
Seal.
to prepare for the process off in a second. I mean, you're right, okay? Porzingis is an important player for them. He stretches everything. We talk a lot about Drew Holiday as the third best player on that team and also the best third player on a team because of how he plays defense. And it is impressive to see Brunson do it against Drew Holiday because he brings it every time. And Brunson is going into the face of what the Celtics have been as champions, and he's doing what Brunson does. Tatum is now at a moment, and I mean, I want you to help me with this. Historically, comparatively, give me some perspective, give me some analysis on what has ever existed like Jalen Brunson as a surprise. Because we've seen the growth of Jimmy Butler here. Ooh, I didn't think he was that good. Nobody knew Jalen Brunson was this. The Knicks seem to have known that he was something, but even they didn't know he was this. No one knew he was this, and it's the smallest player on the court.
Dan, I'm going to answer your question, but first, an update from Jeremy.
So it seems Jay Fiedler's father was Anthony Mason's coach, but it doesn't seem like he's legally Anthony Mason's father, so I don't know that they're legally
all right, I'm going to look
either.
it up.
Brothers, maybe, not brothers.
But he's like my third son. I don't think he is my third son.
What do you mean? I get it.
Thank you for bringing him back. This was my father earlier in the show. It happens all the time when I rattle him.
What do you mean? I get it. You know, I'm surprised. Didn't you enjoy the game last night?
We've got to do Stump the Meech with that. We have to ask Meech what is my father trying to say
What
here?
do you mean? I get it.
Do the whole thing. Let's see if somebody hearing it for the first time after the what do you mean and before surprise, if anyone would understand what's being said on that bridge.
What do you mean? I get it. You know, I'm surprised. Didn't you enjoy the game last night?
I'm certain.
Brunson's historical comp.
Okay, so we've got, as far as nobody saw
As
it
a
coming,
surprise. I
Nikola
know
Jokic.
Jokic, yes. I know Jokic, no one saw that coming. But I'm talking about go back in time throughout history and on Brunson. Guy gets traded from Dallas to New York, and who expected this? I'm calling him the most beloved player in Knicks history right now.
Right, so I can't speak to beloved. I don't know what metric there is for that, but if you want guys like that, Jokic obviously is a draft pick. Steph Curry, although being a top 10 pick, was a guy that a lot of people had question marks around. And the first few years in the league, he was a good player and a good shooter. No one saw him ascending to this level. Steve Nash is another guy who was drafted and traded and then given up by, surprise, surprise, Dallas Mavericks as well, right? Where it's like, you're not quite good enough. I think the Brunson thing, what makes it interesting was I remember going to Jalen Brunson's very first game as in the NBA. They're playing the Suns, and I saw Rick Brunson for the game. And I said, hey, like, congratulations on your son being drafted and everything. You know, like, this must be cool. And he's like, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And he was like, yeah, I don't think he's going to get any minutes, though. Like, he was already tempering his expectations on Jalen Brunson's playing time. And lo and behold, he actually played that night and played really well. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But there was no expectation from anyone that this guy would be a face of the NBA. There were people who thought he was going to be a good NBA player because he was a smart guard and he was a winner in college. But, I mean, I know there's a clip from Stephen A. Smith going viral where he said, there are no NBA players on this Villanova team. This was back then. And that was kind of the general consensus, is that maybe there are no NBA players, but these guys, none of these guys are going to be stars. They're just going to be good, solid role players who'll find a place here and there. And so, yes, in that sense, Brunson's ascension is a little unprecedented. But like I said, there are other guys who have gone through this where they were discarded and kind of not believed in, and then they found stardom, true stardom, somewhere else.
All those Villanova guys are now all on the Knicks.
Except for Dante.
I have just been informed that Stugotz has arrived in the building, and I am here to tell you
he's glowing.
He looks 10 years younger. He is radiant. He is beaming. This begins the rejuvenation of Stugotz. The Knicks matter. Is anyone going to dispute that this is about as good as the Knicks have felt since Larry Johnson hit that 4-point play against Indiana? And I don't even know if that was this century.
It was not this century. It was 1999. And that was pre-Y2K, Dan. Wow. Forget pre-9/11. Pre-Y2K, we were still worried about computers are going to explode, guys. They don't know the dates. It's going to think it's 1900 all over again.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you know what Y2K was? Trust me, Amin and I are old enough to realize that in the year 2000, as it approached, everyone thought that at New Year's, all our computers, and just so that you know, shouldn't be worried about AI at all when I tell you how ignorant we were in 2000 about what the computers might do to us. We thought at the time when the clock struck midnight on Y2K that all of the computers would stop working and the world would no longer work.
You guys are dumb.
Tony, Chris, I'm telling you, they told us the computer's going to think it's 1900, and then all the planes were going to fall from the sky. Like everything was going to crash. Power was going to go out. Like they told us the end of the world is coming. That's what, and people were working round the clock to fix it. It's not one of those things where we thought it was going to be bad. No.
Fix what, I mean? Because, like, how do you go into everybody's computer and be like, oh, instead of 1999, it's got to be 2 in front of the 00? Like,
no, it wasn't even, because Tony, it wasn't 1999. The problem was when they started making computers, the dates were like, 5/11/98. Yeah. They didn't have 1998. And so when 00 hits, the computers didn't know that meant, we're now into a new millennia. They thought, no, we started back at 1900. So what ended up happening was they had to reprogram systems all over the world to go from 2-digit dates to 4-digit years.
I cannot believe. I am so happy to announce, ladies and gentlemen, all of you have seen Amin grow up from a young new media person into
Rising star?
An elder. Ladies and gentlemen, Amin El-Hassan, an elder telling the kids about what Y2K was and enjoying the holy hell out of it because he is an elder.
Dan, we don't call them elders anymore. We call them unk.
Congratulations,
Amin. Dan Le Batard, an unk.
Yes. One of those is in trouble right now. I'll try to stay away from those problems.
The little red baseball hat in Bruce Springsteen's back pocket on the Born in the USA cover, Hat Hall of Fame.
That wasn't a bandana?
Blues Brothers
fedora. No,
he
wore a bandana a lot of times during that tour, but no, that's Mandela effect.
I have purposely not talked once about the Panthers. We'll get to that in a second. I don't know where Roy is. I think he's still in traffic. I would assume after not being afraid, and we're the Panthers, not afraid of anything, you get beat by the backup goalie. Seems like it's kind of insane in Toronto. Wouldn't want to play a Game 7 there.
I would love to ask the question to Zaslow today. Might one say that the Maple Leafs took that ass? Wow. Perhaps?
So far, long series. But yeah, it doesn't look good right now.
I am looking at Stugotz in the control room. Look at him. He has come into the control room, and he is as happy as I've ever seen him. You thought he was stepping back. He's stepping in, he's stepping out, and he's stepping up. Knicks fan Stugotz, someone I've never seen in my life. I've worked with him 20 years, has never felt this good in 25. He's hidden from me for 20 years. Today, Stugotz wins. WFAT. Stugotz will be in here shortly for a process off with Nick Wright. I would love Stugotz to join the process off as one of the kings of debate in this country.
Dan, if I may serve up an appetizer for later while you think of your process. Yeah, because there's another process you need to think about. 2 days ago, Dan Le Batard was burying the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's over. They lost the game.
Yes.
He's the best player in the world. What are they going to do?
Yes, there is that.
They beat him by damn near 50, Dan. The highest plus-minus in the history of NBA playoffs. Plus 51 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in 3 quarters. He didn't even play the fourth.
I have never seen a playoff game where a team has 87 points at the half.
No one has. It's never happened before.
Yes, I've never seen it. 87 struck me as an unusual number. I also wasn't aware that the Oklahoma City Thunder, by the way, an extraordinary basketball team, truly capable of winning the championship, hadn't lost back-to-back games since 2023. That's right. They don't lose 2 in a row because they're great. Like you beat them once, it's a surprise. And they had it. Was it December? Was it November? They do not lose back-to-back games because they're great. They're better because they're better than everyone. That's hard stop, right? I mean, that's hard stop. The Oklahoma City Thunder are better than everyone.
Yes. I mean, I said that to you months ago. I said they have. Remember, you mocked me about it 2 days ago. Amin says they have no flaws, but then here comes this guy from Serbia, and I said, Dan, it's the playoffs.
What's
you
that
lose
sound?
That's
Do you do a fake Le Batard? Let me hear some fake Le Batard. Argue with my father over here. Let's hear what this sounds like.
What do you mean? I get it.
Well, Dad, didn't you see Jason Tatum? He couldn't get anything done.
Didn't you enjoy the game last night?
I did. It was amazing. The math was just not mathing last night, but over time it'll work out.
I get it.
You don't agree?
I get it.
What was that?
Didn't you
has to finish his hockey segment.
Mike Ryan has landed in Vegas. God knows what time it is right there. God knows if he slept at all and what kind of intoxicants he's on. But let's just play sound from Mike Ryan. He's not chasing the Jokic brothers in Denver. That's Amin. But let's play the sound before we introduce Mike Ryan and his nice hat.
I'm actually hearing, we're about to play this sound here. I'm actually hearing Mike Ryan is hopping in the Zoom. But let's play this video first to set it up.
All right, is the video ready? Because a lot is happening around here this week. It's crazy. This is a careening clown car that is going to pinball all over the place, and I'm very scared we're going to get in trouble this week because it's hard to keep the lights on, and we shouldn't do any of this stuff live. Let's go ahead and go to Mike's initial report. Was it from the Vegas airport? Was it around slot machines? Where was he? Let's listen in.
Howdy, folks. Here in fabulous Las Vegas. Have a great time. Just landed. And it's going to create a lot of special content for all you guys out there. It's Sunday Fun Day. World is our oyster. And we're just getting going. Where's the Tropicana? It's the wrong kind of big cat. Different big cat's going to be taking over the strip. Let's get a drink.
Welcome to the world famous Las Vegas
Strip, as you can see.
Man,
my battery's dead. No, I have a. There's a battery store right in there. Battery store, right? There's a battery store right in there. I'll come back. Wait. Be right back. Yep.
No, you want me to get it?
No, I'll get it. Yeah. Be right back. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
He's got a gambling problem. That's what this is going to end.
Hello?
Hello, Miguel? Michael?
Is this Mike?
Michael, you want Michael?
Is this Mike Ryan?
This is Michael Smith. Hey, listen here, okay? D1, okay? Do you know what D1 means? D1 means don't worry about nothing, okay? Don't worry about nothing. Miguel, he's in good hands, okay? That's all you need to know.
He was kidnapped, but we have him in the Zoom.
I'm trying to reach Mike Ryan.
No, you'll see Michael. You'll see Miguel. You'll see him tomorrow, okay? He'll be okay,
man, hey, let him know his producer John is trying to reach him.
He'll know. I got you, okay? I'll leave a message, okay? Get some Oscar, okay? Miguel, hello, okay?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Samahani, okay? Go Panthers, go Panthers, go out. Meow. Take care, okay? Ciao.
I mean, we sent Mike to Vegas on a Metal-Arc account. I didn't know we had sent John Reed to Vegas on a Metal-Arc account. Do we trust him enough to have him in Vegas? I don't know that
Gotta
we
have a producer.
I don't know about that one, Dan.
Mike Ryan, thank you, Tony. I don't know why he's there on an account. Mike, are you sober? What time is it right now in Vegas?
Oh, okay. They got to patch us through.
Mike, you got us?
Mike, are you there Okay, excellent work by you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that
This
you're
is a them issue.
ready to go.
Your concerns have been validated.
But just look at him.
I mean,
holy shit.
I didn't know he was going. I didn't know we could have used him here.
Was that a Haitian accent? What was that accent?
The kidnapper is of undeterminate foreign kidnapping skills and ethnicity.
Well, bad skills if he's in the
Like
Zoom.
from Top Gun.
It's just a general
Exactly,
threatening
Just a bad
accent. Could be
guy.
from anywhere in the world. Could be any kind of.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Holy shit. This is happening all at once. Stugotz is coming into the room with the best Knicks feeling there's been in 25 years.
Hello.
This is very exciting. And Nick Wright is here, and we've got something to spring on him out of nowhere based on the last hour of the show. I'm going to explain it to both of you at the same time because you're getting here. It's a process off, Nick. You've already won. Congratulations. You've won the debate sphere of television, radio. You can make a good argument. Congratulations. You're better than Stephen A. Smith. Not much of an accomplishment. Way to go, big guy. Way to go. Wait, this is no, you're making fun of Stephen A. Smith now because you're coming for his crown because look.
I haven't talked about Stephen A. Smith in quite some time. But I understand. Listen, I know.
Well, I conceded to you.
You know what gets engagement.
Look, listen,
you're like, ooh, media beef. People love it. But what's the process of?
All right, so just hear me out for a second because there's a lot we got to do in 20 minutes here, okay? You have rivalries with Mina and Pablo.
Yes.
You think you're better than them. You are not yet better than them. But we are challenging you right now. We are challenging you to a process off of last night's game, okay?
Okay.
Instead of debate television, we want to study the process, not the result, okay? We don't want – the result is what the result is. The process off is you, me, us, and Stugotz arguing who had the better process last night. Amin, start the bidding.
Well, there's an interesting thing that happened. So I was talking to Tony a second ago, and we were talking about, hey, in life, when you want to say this is a really easy task, right? How do people describe it, Tony?
It's a layup.
It's a layup. It's a layup. And unfortunately for the Boston Celtics, they don't see it that way. They see that the three-pointer is basically what you're supposed to do, and therein lies a problem. You see, here, when you have bricks are bad. Not good. Layups, that's good, right? So the process of getting to the good means eschewing the bad.
That's not the right answer.
Hold on. I'm not done yet. So, specifically, what ends up happening is any good process has to be cognizant of the context in which it exists. Meaning, if this thing isn't working, we have to be able to balance the diet with things that might work and then come back.
Amin is saying the Celtics need to change. The Celtics need to change everything they're doing. They're going to keep They're going to keep shooting 25% from three.
Didn't say that either. But thank you.
Amin just used $3 words to be like shoot closer to the basket. It's a brilliant argument. No one's ever heard of it. Can I tell you? Listen, the Knicks won the process because they started their process a full year ago, and they have different goals in mind. The Celtics tried to build a team. Their process was to build a team to win a championship. The Knicks tried to build a team to beat the Boston Celtics. And just like we saw last year, when the defending champ in round 2 ran up against a team that was built with one specific purpose in mind, how can we beat that team? And then they lost the first 2 games at home, and then they ended up losing the series. We are seeing a Knicks team whose process started with an OG Anunoby trade, then a Mikal Bridges trade, then breaking up the Villanova core before they even got to play together for the Karl Anthony Towns trade, not because it gives them necessarily the best chance to win the championship, but because it gives them the best chance to be able to guard and defend and beat the Boston Celtics. So their process started way earlier, and their process was different. So it wasn't about where people took shots last night. It was about how they constructed their rosters, and that's what we're seeing.
That's not
that's
not perimeter defense. Boston misses more shots. You missed 75 of those shots.
Can I say something?
They're all uncontested.
Dan, why do we fucking keep score? I swear to God, man.
No, man.
In Dan's perfect sports world,
here we go.
Wins and losses don't matter. Run and point differential matters. But actually, he doesn't want run and point differential. He wants expected run and
you know what?
expected point differential.
See the floor.
That shot was worth
hold on a second.
1.2
Hold on a
Give
second.
me a break.
Hold on a second. Okay, yes, you've got a lot of. Look, man, this is simple, Nick. 6+ feet away last night. Listen to me. A defender 6+ feet away. Al Horford, 0 for 8. Derek White, 5 for 15. Peyton Pritchard, 3 for 10. Jason Tatum, 0 for 2. They're a good shooting team. They're not going to keep shooting 25% on uncontested threes.
Well, luckily for the New York Knicks, the games that played count. And one of those, and this is why I don't dismiss, but I don't pray at the altar of these numbers the way you seem to. One of those uncontested threes was by Jason Tatum in the corner, up 7 with 7 minutes left, when Jalen Brunson is the closest defender, and he's laying on the ground. And Tatum's like, well, 3's worth more than 2. I'm going to shoot this, as opposed to going to the hoop. That's bad basketball. So that part of Amin's argument was correct. My argument was just the more all-encompassing one. Your argument is it should be about what the score should have been rather than what it actually was.
Mr. Le Batard, your rebuttal.
I thought I wasn't supposed to speak. I thought he was having the process with you guys because
he was arguing with you.
Look,
Dan, here's the issue. Hold on, I'm sorry. As soon as you announced you're going to do a process off, in my mind I was thinking, does Nick disagree with what I'm about to say here? Because I kind of think Nick is going to be on my side, and the person who's arguing your point is just you. And maybe Joe Mazzulla, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, by the way. Wow. Maybe Joe Mazzulla might back you up. But nobody.
Can I say something about Mazzulla?
Please do.
So, listen, I think Mazzulla's obviously a good coach. The fouling of Mitchell Robinson with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in a quarter when your team has 2 team fouls is so much worse than anything Mark Daigneault did 2 days ago that he got dragged for.
Preach.
The forcing your team when they are not in the bonus, or the Knicks are not in the bonus or close in the bonus, into the bonus and getting no benefit out of it aside from the fact that you're going to get one offensive possession without Mitchell Robinson on the court, that is bad process.
They fouled him twice, Nick. Twice.
They fouled him twice and got 0 free throws out of it, and it wasn't like, well, there's 8 minutes left in the quarter, so now we're going to get 6 minutes of him off the court. But the other problem with this is, and I think this is pretty obvious, and this is what is to me frustrating about the Celtics at times. Their strategy is most sound if one were to believe that they are not typically the more talented, better, more well put together roster. Like adding this much variance and having it to be where you could find yourself down 0-2 when the Knicks haven't even played that well, that made sense when the 2017 Houston Rockets were trying to compete with the KD Steph Warriors, because it's like, they are better than us. We need to shake the snow globe. That shouldn't be how the Celtics feel, and that part is odd to me.
They are riverboat gamblers, Dan, and they're betting it all, every single possession. And at some point, you have to kind of adjust, not because I'm abandoning my philosophies, but because I need to mitigate risk on every possession as we have a lead, as we have this cushion, and as the game gets shorter and shorter. The more they eschew, I'll use that $3 word again, eschew mitigating risk, the more they invite the variance that Nick is talking about, which is this thing goes sideways, a good team will make us pay for it.
Okay, I'm going to go to both of you as basketball experts and answer this question for me.
Couldn't say that to Pablo or Mina. Tell you that much right now. They're better than me. I'm just saying. Basketball experts.
Just set yourself up.
I mean, just saying. Go ahead, as you were.
Surprised he called you that, to be honest. I mean,
Well,
Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach?
yes.
Yes, because good comes in a lot of different shades.
Is he going to make a change that Jaylen Brown is being quoted as saying they're not going to make a change? We're just going to make our shots. Like, are you you guys are saying he's going to make changes, and I'm asking you, are you sure? I
don't think it's about Mazzulla making the change. I think it's about Jason Tatum and making the decision in real time. You can't guard me. I'm going to the basket, and it is not nothing to me that at the end of yesterday's game, you know what Jason Tatum did? Went to the basket. And now one worked, one didn't. And so I don't think I disagree with you, Dan, as much as maybe it seems that I do, in that I do understand the idea behind the math being so overwhelming that in the long run, this is a sound strategy. But it is, Amin said riverboat gambler, and you guys know I am, I don't know, a semi-professional poker player. I play a lot of poker for real stakes.
How much on riverboats?
And there are different.
Answer his question. How much on riverboats?
Well, riverboats, Kansas City, Missouri, when I was growing up, you could only gamble on. Can I tell a quick story? I'll tell it anyway.
Please.
Yeah, please.
They made a law. They were like, hey, we need people to traverse the gorgeous Missouri River. So we need to make gambling legal on the river. So you would go on these riverboat cruises and you could gamble. And then they were like, that river's kind of dangerous. So the boat probably shouldn't have to leave the dock. And they're like, okay, but still you can only gamble on the boat. And then they were like, well, you know what? Since the boat doesn't leave the dock, what if we built giant hotels and then dredged the river to where one little tiny droplet of water touched the hotel? Can we call that a riverboat? And they were like, yes. And because of that, Kansas City's got 6 casinos. And because of that, I'm me. But that's not so yes, I've gambled on a riverboat. But when you are playing high leverage poker, the math is the same hand one to when you're at the final table. But your risk tolerance changes greatly if you're smart. And if you recognize, okay, in this spot, I can get all my chips in, and I'm a 60-40 favorite. That actually is something you don't want to do if you believe you're the best player at the table. You can say, I will find a better spot. Yes, in the long run, this is profitable. But here in this moment, I'm going to fold because I actually don't want to give you, the inferior player, a 40% chance of beating me. And that's where the Celtics allowing, I think, an inferior Knicks team to play the variance game is a mistake. It might not be a mistake if they were in the finals against Oklahoma City. If they're like, they're better than us, so we need to add this. They shouldn't need that en route to the finals.
We've never seen a team miss this many threes in 2 games, and there's a randomness approaching in basketball that's going to change some of these gulfs between talent. If you're coached poorly, if you don't make the changes, it is a C-shift time in the NBA, players and play. And we're right now watching with Boston and New York that Boston is saying we've gotten better at this surgical thing. Barkley feared that this is what the Warriors would be. Out on the perimeter, just shoot 53s and the game's going to be ruined. That team's here. It won the championship. And what I'm saying to you guys is if that team believes in what it is, not Tatum. Tatum doesn't have a moment as big as Brunson's last one in Detroit. Tatum doesn't have a moment yet, and this team is built for him to never need it because they've surgically made a 7-3 guy that can play 40 feet away from the basket, and when he's healthy and they take their threes, they're going to club just about everyone except now Oklahoma City. They're not going to change the way they play.
This is getting way too intense.
Play.
This is getting way too intense.
Way too intense,
I'm just thinking about processed meat. That's all I can think of as you guys talk about the process.
Same. Yeah.
Nick, what's the first thing you think of when I say processed meat?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like sandwich ham, like deli meat. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
If you
no,
say
we can get that.
processed-
Maybe a Hot Pocket.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Just
Oh,
anything
I don't know.
processed. Could be anything. I mean, there's a lot of good processed meat.
You trust it.
This is where I'm not good on this show because I'm not whimsically funny like you.
Pablo would be.
Mina would not answer this question.
Can I also tell you something just before? Amin, you'll know this. What is it? Is it the transitive property that if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then A is greater than C?
Yes.
Is that transitive property?
Yes, it is.
Okay. By Dan's transitive property, that he said, I'm better than Stephen A. Smith, but Pablo Torre is better than me. Therefore, by that property, Pablo Torre is better than Stephen A. Smith, and maybe this will help maybe quell whatever potential feud that Dan's trying to stoke between me and Stephen A. I am here to say Pablo Torre is not better than Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Flatly.
Agreed.
I'll take that to the bank.
No.
Flatly.
No.
Yeah.
Flatly.
No.
What
I
bank
don't
are you
know.
bringing that to?
No.
I mean, what better at what?
It's
At
just-
sitting next to C-list celebrities at Knicks games? Maybe.
It's credible journalist stuff, Nick. It's the thing that you will never have. It's no, you know this. You know this. Credible journalists have been looking down at you your entire career. You know this. And
Yeah. You know what? I agree. And they have been publicly looking down at me and privately envious. And so yeah, I agree. You're right. Who's more likely to win a Peabody? Pablo. Who's more likely to not give a shit about it? The other people involved in the conversation.
I mean, who wants to be a credible journalist? Honestly, I mean, in this day and age.
So
I mean, I do think I think there is a big gulf. I think there's real value in. I don't think anybody wants people to think they make things up or that they are a charlatan, right? But nobody, in the people involved in this conversation, nobody thinks that. So it's like, hey, do I have credibility that people actually believe I'm telling the truth? Once you get to that, over that curb, then it is, do I want, someone who writes for The Atlantic to be like, hey, do you want to write a guest piece? And some folks care about that, and other folks are honest.
So just to clarify here, you're saying Stephen A. Smith greater than Pablo, and by Dan's admission, you greater than Stephen A. Smith.
No, I'm not saying
that. Ipso facto.
No,
I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Dan says that.
I think
did
all
not
Nick,
admit that.
I think all Nick is saying is Stephen A. is the greatest of all time.
I'm just trying to figure out.
And I'm saying he's been dethroned.
I'm trying to figure out the transitive properties here.
No.
We're not allowed to talk about the
Clearly-
transitive property in Florida
He clearly,
anymore.
by Dan's logic, if you combine my logic and Dan's logic, yes, but that, as you know, is not actually how the transitive property works. It's Stephen A's at the top of the mountain.
I disagree. You're better than he is.
Well, okay. Even if you think that's correct, even if that's true, and I appreciate the compliment, he's still at the top of the mountain. Even if you think there's there's a store out there, if you're like, man, I found this website that sells stuff. It's cheaper, faster, smarter than everything. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Amazon's still at the top of the mountain. So so even that part, one is an opinion, the other is a fact.
Okay, but I put Pablo and Mina above both of you. You think that?
Well, you're wrong.
But I put them both above you.
I think
they're just better than you at this.
Journalists?
They're better than you at this. They're better than you at this.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize.
Listen, Mina has a pitch I don't have. Mina can do actual, I grinded the tape and here's what I saw. So she is certainly better than me at that specific thing. There is no doubt about it. I'm yet to find something that I actually think Pablo's better than me at. Even the stuff he does that I haven't done since I was, trying to get A's on term papers, I'm quite convinced. Give me 72 hours to prep and I'd be better at that. No. That I won't abide. I won't abide that. And by the way, I like Pablo. But we gotta, he started that podcast he did with me. He was like, the last time I saw you, do you remember what you said to me? And I was like, no. And he was like, you said that I was, meaning Pablo, the second smartest person in sports media. And he seemed really bothered. And he was like, you don't remember that? I'm like, not only do I not remember that, I don't think I would have said that. And he's like, oh, because you wouldn't have said, been that arrogant? I'm like, no, because I don't think I could ever have you above 3 as long as me and Bomani exist. Like, you're fighting for the bronze, and if I'm being honest, I'd have Mina in there well before. Again, listen, fun podcast. Good luck at the Peabody Awards. Whatever that is. But give me a break.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. You've got a heart out. Good talking to you.
What just happened?
See you guys. Bye.
So instructive. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But that's. Good for him.
I can't hear. No puedo oír.
You can hear me. You can. Mike, can you give us a report here from Vegas? Roy's going out for games 5 and 7. We haven't had time to get to Roy's notes. Roy's mistakes. Do you want to go over them with him? Do you guys, Roy, go ahead and handle this segment here with Mike Ryan and talk about our hockey coverage.
Is he at the Waldorf? I mean,
I can't hear them.
All right, Mike. I will try not to go as loud.
Fine.
You got a hangover, so I'm going to go with the mistakes that the Panthers made. So let's go with the Jonathan Marshall show going right now, all right? So both your D-men went behind the net, both of them, covering one man. That left the front of the net wide open for Jonathan Marchessault. So that's one mistake right there. He had some bad luck with Anthony Duclair blocking the shot. So he was hobbled on the ice, could not get off the ice.
Right.
And Shea Theodore made a move on him at the blue line, turned around, left him in the dust, ended up in the middle of the ice. And the screen in front of Bob could not see the puck. A lot of that
Bob
going
trying to see the puck was one of the great videos.
I thought he was going to start jumping up and down on his skates. Yes.
And then the last mistake here, the Mark Stone goal. Aaron Ekblad tried to clear the puck out of the zone. Puck rolled up on him. Ended up being a pop fly basically, and Mark Stone knocked it down with a high stick, which they reviewed. I still think it was a high stick, but.
Same.
They were saying that it's like when he's standing tall, right?
But he's tall.
Because he's skating against lower. Get out of here. If it's above the shoulder, it's a high stick.
Yeah, he leaned to the right, so his shoulder dipped a little bit.
But they're saying if he was standing straight, it would not have been a high stick. That's what they're saying.
The puck was over the crossbar.
They were projecting.
Mike Ryan, your thoughts? Live coverage from Vegas, hungover, 6 o'clock in the morning. Get some sleep. Your thoughts on Roy's mistakes? He still can't hear me? All right. Excellent work, John Reed. Thank you. Now's a good time to take care of the lights and everything there with the last 4 seconds of the segment. Thank you, gentlemen, for all your hard work.
Billy Does Barbados Carnival.
So welcome back, Billy, and I don't know where this particular tension is going to end up. Welcome back. And I also want to get to Mike Ryan. He does not agree with you on Hard Knocks, Chris. He doesn't.
Oh, trust me. We had a whole text exchange last night. I almost drove to his house to fight him.
Yeah, you guys have very wildly disparate opinions on the Oakland Raiders and Hard Knocks. But first, Billy, welcome back. How was your honeymoon?
It was good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, he's tightened up his game now that he's refreshed. Okay, things are
it's just so hot today, Dan. I don't know what's going on with the air, but luckily I have this little fan that I bought before a hurricane that I have plugged into my phone, so like it's keeping me nice and cool.
I'm so jealous.
You guys should get these. These things are awesome. Look at it, Dan. You see this thing? Look at
this. Can you please tell me about all the awkward things that happened to you? Did anything weird happen to you in Barbados? Like what kind of, just give me some awkward Billy on his honeymoon stuff. Is there anything that...
The non-awkward would be a much shorter story.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to go. What's the best you got from your honeymoon? And then we'll move on to other things like Antonio trying to steal your job.
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But recently I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, go sit outside for a second. We'll get back to it.
Whoa!
Antonio, just go sit in his chair. We'll get back to it.
I'm back, baby.
I want to hear the whole story. I just don't understand why you can't even get the name right of Carnival and like
it's Crop Over. That's fun.
Why is it called a honeymoon?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. Put it on the poll, Antonio, now that you've replaced Billy in his chair. Do you know why they call it a honeymoon? Mike, do you have the sound? A very simple sound, a very simple question. Basically, I want you to hear Billy, who has a reputation for yammering and just not being able to get anything out, and he's rusty, because he hasn't been paying attention to the internet for 10 days. So he came in here today, and it was just a furnace blast of news, all of it weird, disorienting. The local hour has gone someplace else.
We showed him Antonio Brown's feet.
Yeah, like he's missed a lot. I'm actually scared when I disappear for my honeymoon. I'm going to come back and I feel like things are just going to be gone. There's the possibility like the shipping container room just floated off into the Atlantic Ocean.
We're still not out of hurricane season.
Yeah, I am going to fall it's very easy to fall very far behind, very fast when it comes to the amount of stimulation and news and sports stuff that you are getting. Billy was off the grid. He comes back. Everything's changed except his inability to say anything quickly. So
it's white now.
Everything is different. Like you
That's the most efficient you've ever been.
Yes. Look at that. Did you learn something on your honeymoon? Okay, so lest you think he has cured his ills of not being efficient, please play for the audience. This is Billy Rusty returning from his honeymoon. Just him simply trying to say where he was.
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But Recently, I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's
for
a
the
different
love of
story.
God. All right, go sit outside for a second. We'll get back to it. Whoa! You would have kept going. You would have given it 20 names if I didn't cut you off and kick you out. You would have given it 20 names. Actually, the roots of the word come from the 1700s and indigenous people.
I was upset you did that to Billy his first day back, but hearing it back, he absolutely deserved it.
Again, yes. I want you to hear again, just Mike, the last part of it, where he's simply trying to say, Billy is simply trying to tell us, this is a very simple transaction. Hey, Billy, where were you? What were you doing? He got snagged and stuck on where were you?
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But recently, I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, go sit outside for How do I not get frustrated with that? Like, I missed it for 10 days, but I don't miss it anymore.
Those are important details.
I normally don't hear, but I heard it.
All right, start again then. And real quick, Mike, just the short version. Billy being asked, where were you, Billy, on your honeymoon? This is a simple question. It gets a simple response in most circumstances, unless you're talking to Billy.
So in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, Billy, we've established where you are and what it's called, kind of. Now, proceed.
All right, so this is how it works. Crop Over is like a couple months long, and Kadooment is like the grand finale, and it's like a carnival type thing, and you guys will see from time to time, every once in a while, Rihanna will go back to Barbados, and she'll be like parading in the streets, and it's like Brazilian carnival, basically. So we wanted to do that, which is not something that at all is something that I would probably ever be in my comfort zone, right? You would think me parading.
Well, it's a lack of repressions. It is free, liberated people being themselves. So of course that's the worst place in the world for you to be soaked in fear.
Oh, it gets worse. So to participate in this, you have to sign up with what are called bands, and they have a bunch of different bands that you sign up for. So we found a band, and then I get my costume. You have to pay to get costumes. So I'm going through the streets, and I'm shirtless, and I'm in pink shorts and a cowboy hat and all this fake jewelry that they have on, that it's like massive, like this pendant around my chest and like these arm cuffs. So I'm like going through the streets dressed not in all a way that I'd ever be comfortable doing it. And I thought that, you know what, it's like a parade. It'll be like the Three Kings parade that they have in you know, Dade County. And it'll be like a couple blocks, whatever, Thanksgiving Day parade. So when we're in the taxi to get there, I asked the guy, I go, how long is this parade? And he's like,
I haven't gotten yet to some of the stuff that I want to get to because Stugotz was late arriving. How bad was that traffic?
3 hours. I mean, pretty bad.
I could fly to Phoenix.
I know.
Roy's still not here.
I know. Yeah, which is interesting because I called Roy. I was a half hour behind Roy, and yet somehow I got here before Roy, but the express lane opened at the exact right time for me.
Well, traffic made it so that we've been a failure as a regional little thing that cares about its hockey team in not addressing in any meaningful way that the defending champions in hockey are in trouble.
Well, I mean,
they are in trouble.
Series hasn't started yet, then.
They are in trouble. Hockey's a funny, weird sport. It's hard to win, and the teams at the top are really good. We haven't gotten to it because Roy's in traffic.
That's right.
Chris, where are you on this? Oh, this is happening now. Okay, forgiveness here. I need to ask an apology of the audience.
What?
What's that?
Oh wow.
It's our new segment.
Is it entirely the smoke?
Is this a new segment? Are we using this to compete with all the smoke?
We're using this to compete with everyone who's reporting on the papal selection. Dan, it's our very own Vatican expert, Billy Gill. What? All the smoke, entirety of the smoke. Certainly some of the smoke.
Billy Gill coming in on a day off.
There has to be a pope by now, right?
Delivering the news. He wouldn't be here unless there was, I would imagine, because this segment, which was off to a rip-roaring start yesterday to compete with all the things All the Smoke is doing, even though All the Smoke is a partner.
You know what's funny, Dan, is we thought it was a Wild Willie Wednesday feature, but guess what? Because we haven't had a pope selected, the show must go on, and so it will spill over to a Thursday and maybe perhaps even a Friday, and we'll keep going until a pope has been selected, unless we have an update here from the one and only Billy Gill.
I've got a question. Why is Billy in a neck brace?
Well, this was from yesterday.
Yep.
A couple of things happened yesterday, including, and this was Sam Morril is a professional comedian. I'm sorry, has no one informed you what happened yesterday, Tony?
No, Dan. I have a 4-month-old kid.
Tony, so you don't know what happened yesterday? Okay, this is what happened yesterday. So this happened on our show that's getting cocky. Billy Gill, who is very funny, admittedly very funny. I'm not. I will not. Man, Billy is the most popular member of the show with the people who really know what funny is.
Yeah. Do you guys want to know about the Pope or not?
Yes, in a second. Hold on a second. Just give me a second.
We're giving you your flowers. Just relax.
Just please. Don't. We don't need anything from you right now.
Dan, I've been on hold on the Zoom for 18 minutes, Dan. When I'm elected Pope of Meadowlark, things are going to change, Dan. Wait to see.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you have been waiting.
The Pope of Meadowlark. I love that title.
David Sampson, there's a job opening at Meadowlark, and David Sampson wants to be the Pope of Meadowlark, and we cannot allow him to be the Pope of Meadowlark.
I think you have that power, Dan.
No, well.
Yeah, Dan, we're running out of people to blame for not having the power.
You know what?
I think it's you.
I understand. It seems to be at the moment, yes. But in matters of business, you guys may have noticed, I'm in over my head.
Wait to see.
I'm in over my head. The situation I have is Skipper's leaving and Sampson wants the job. He wants to be the Pope of Meadowlark. And
you can say no.
He's the only one, though, who wants that job. Do one of you want to do it?
I'll be Pope.
You want to be the Pope of Meadowlark? You want to handle the money?
I can't have him do it. He'll fire me.
Handle the money, I'm in.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why Skipper was here in the first place.
Sports Bang is back.
All right, let's move on to the Pope.
Nope, not going to do it yet. Billy was waiting 18 minutes, and I'm sorry about that. It's because a lot of things are happening at the same time, including Sampson wants to be the Pope of Meadowlark. We can't have that. I'm running a progressive company. It can't be Sampson.
What's more progressive than a Jewish Pope?
He's got you there.
So we've got this stinky Pope segment.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah, we should put you in charge of this, too.
Oh, me too.
We've got an update. We've got an update
on the neck brace?
On the Pope, but I want to get to what Billy Gill did to you yesterday.
To me?
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
No, Billy Gill yesterday tells Sam Morril, a professional comedian, that he's not funny. As he's getting kicked out of the room, Sam Morril is like, who's that guy? And you know what Billy says on his way out of the room? Because Billy's funny? Tony. And so now the comedy world has seized on to our show in that corner of the room, and Tony thinks he's funnier than comedy. That's what he left in his wake yesterday on you.
Dan, the comedy world wants to kill Tony.
That's exactly right.
Different show, though.
Billy is here to give us a Pope update. I'm sorry you were waiting 18 minutes. It was a failure on my part. Thank you. Give us the update.
Hey, Dan. Welcome to All the Smoke. My name is Billy Gill. We have no new Pope yet. Back to you.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate the update. Finally, we get to Stugotz, and things can stop getting in our way because I have failed today, and I am sorry on behalf of
You didn't fail today. I was late to the show today. It's on me. You didn't fail.
Okay. So look, but this has been poor Stugotz is very far away. Nothing is going to make him age more than him having to continue to make that drive in this traffic. South Florida is under cars and water. We were never built for this size. Our Bejeweled dumpster was just this little tiny thing in a spring break town that we covered in drug money, made a little brown, and now it pretends to be an international global city. It's a dumpster, poorly constructed, and too many of the New Yorkers and San Francisco people who have tons and tons of money and want to have guns and not taxes have flooded our infrastructure in a way that has sewage in the ocean.
Yeah.
Our buildings falling down and dropping into the sea.
And we only have one lane on the highway. I mean, it's everyone is flowing into one lane that takes you to I-95. It's crazy.
We weren't built for this, and Stugotz can no longer drive 3 hours to and from every day in traffic. But he has done so today, gloriously, because this has to be the best the Knicks have felt in 25 years. Does anyone dispute this? I mean, you're here to give us historical perspective, but when it comes to fandom, that's the thing Stugotz has always been. And he didn't give up on this team, but it hasn't been, like, you can only get beaten down for so many decades of Carmelo's our best player before something like this is something that just stirs open something that hasn't been there for 25 years.
So, Stugotz, the show started in 2005,
Yeah.
correct? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to try and recount all the positive things that have happened, right?
Yep.
2005, let's see, nothing good. 2006, nothing good. 2007, nothing good. 2008, you guys hired Mike D'Antoni. Wow.
Yep.
Right?
Yes,
2009, not good, but playing a fun style. 2010, you sign Amari Stoudemire.
Yep.
He takes the picture outside of Madison Square Garden.
What a first month.
And the first month was amazing.
Yes.
Right? I got that right.
Yes.
And then 2010, moving into 2011, the rumors about Carmelo Anthony starting. All of a sudden, wait a second.
Yep.
End of the season, we're going to have Carmelo and this great Knicks team that's up and coming. But Jim Dolan gets a little antsy, says we got to do the deal now. We can't wait. So he trades all the young guys, Raymond Felton, Timothy Mozgov, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, who was a big star, by the way. They loved him there. And he gets Carmelo. Now, was that happiness for you, or did you have a little pessimism at that time?
Somehow he made that miserable because he gave up all the young talent the Knicks had to get Carmelo, where he simply just had to wait till the end of the season and Carmelo was coming to the Knicks.
All he had to do was wait. Right. But the next season starts, and it's 11-12, and it's Carmelo and Amari Stoudemire, and it's not working quite well, right? Right? It's not working well, and the guys are like, well, Mike D'Antoni, I don't know if I fit his system because I want to hold and jab step, and Mike D'Antoni wants the ball moving and all that stuff. And then Carmelo gets hurt. And then there's a guy that comes in. He's like a 10-day guy, and his name is Jeremy Lin.
Yes.
Give me the joy of Linsanity.
That's the moment.
That's the most joyous I've been as a Knicks fan over the course of this show, to be honest with you. Until last year. Last year was a pretty joyous moment for me.
Right. So Linsanity happens,
Yeah.
and then they lose him in free. Well, he gets hurt, and he doesn't play because he's 50%, 65%. He's never 100%.
Yes.
Doesn't play in the playoffs. He ends up leaving in free agency. The next year, Mike D'Antoni gets fired. Mike Woodson takes over. And so then that year, is it 12-13 or 13-14, the Knicks are good again because they get Jason Kidd, and they get Rasheed Wallace, and they get all these old people who I keep like Meta World Peace is on the team. They have all these vets. They go to the playoffs. They win a round. Remember? They dressed in black in Boston because it's a funeral and all that stuff. And then they play the Heat in the second round. And then you say, oh, that's what really good looks like.
Yes.
And they get drummed in. And then it's bad again for perhaps maybe 7-8 years.
7 or 8 years, yeah.
But then
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Oh, wait, first of all, let's start here. Then we get a new Knicks front office, and they're going to games to scout out the competition. Everyone thinks they're looking at Donovan Mitchell, but really, they're looking at Jalen Brunson, who agrees to come for $90 million.
Yes.
And everyone said, wow, he's a nice player, but that's a little bit overpaid. But when he starts playing at Stugotz, this guy's pretty good. And the Knicks go to the playoffs, and they win a round. And then they play the Heat, and they didn't realize Jimmy Butler's hobbled, and they couldn't attack him. And so then they lose that series. And then last year happens. That's the high point.
I would say that's the high point. You left out Phil Jackson, by the way.
Oh, I just kind of glossed all over
that. And him not wanting to coach our team.
13 rings.
So 10 days is what you guys are saying. Jeremy Lin, 10 days.
10 days, a month of Amari Stoudemire, and 10 days of Jeremy Lin.
So, but this is 10 days of Jeremy Lin. This right now is the same feeling of being. It's higher. You're saying
a new high water mark.
This is higher, Dan. We're up.
Well, wait a minute.
We're up 2-0 on the Celtics. We haven't played a home game yet. I mean, Saturday 3:30 at the Mecca is going to be out of hand. I can't wait.
Dan, they might lose the next 4 games.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right now, at this moment in history, the Knicks went into Boston and beat them twice in Boston. While everybody in the world said the Celtics going to drum their heads in, right? This point right now, like Sam Morril said the other day, he can look the junkies in the eye and tell them, your first high does not even compare to what I feel right now.
It's the first time the Knicks have won 2 road games in which they were down 20 points back-to-back nights. They did it. It's the first time the Knicks have started 5-0 on the road in the playoffs. The Knicks are legit good, and here's the funny thing. I was upset because last year I thought Dante DiVincenzo and I thought, Hartenstein.
The foreigner.
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
The Italian?
Yeah.
Delaware, wasn't it?
I think Delaware, Ohio, that's a fight on me. But I was upset with those trades because I liked the core of the team. The fans fell in love with that team in particular. And so last year was a real high, and I was upset to see those 2 guys go, and they were replaced by Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. And I asked myself, which was ridiculous at the time, are the Knicks better today than they were yesterday? And the fact that I asked that question is absurd. Of course they're better than they were when they had DiVincenzo and Hartenstein.
Well, hold on, though. Let's do some of the recent history here.
But now there's pressure on the Knicks to win this series. They cannot collapse and lose this. So Dan, I don't know if I like that.
All right, so this is what is beautiful about the present scenario when I tell you what do I want to feel during the series, because I want to get through this story.
Ooh.
Basketball is about the stories, the storylines, and if the games meet the moments, you will see history written and made. You will live it. You will understand how to tell your grandkids why Giannis only won 1. And they won't understand the way they don't understand when the elder starts talking about Y2K.
What a time.
This moment in Knicks history, when I tell you what the fan base is presently doing, feeling, swelling in its heart, okay, is so desperate to feel what Larry Johnson made them feel with that 4-point play, and not what Reggie Miller made them feel in those 12 seconds. The history of this franchise that is generational brings a story to Boston that is New York in basketball never gets to play in the sphere where the Celtics do. Historically, the Knicks are a laughingstock compared to the people who have dominated the last 25 years. 15 years ago, when LeBron got here, I joked, singing, yelling, as soon as he got here, New York, welcome to another decade of irrelevance. A quarter century of Knicks fans have been muzzled down wanting to make the noise that they made when Larry Johnson hit that 4 in another century before Y2K. Stugotz comes in here and he says, pathetically, 10 days of Jeremy Lin is what I got, and he still remembers it fantastically.
Oh, it's great.
Amari Stoudemire talked about him as an MVP for 3 minutes. Carmelo Anthony, a very popular Knick. Jalen Brunson just had a moment that Jason Tatum had not had to merely extinguish Detroit. Jalen Brunson has gone from the heart of, we're Hartenstein and Hart, and he's our real Hart. This guy, Jalen Brunson, is better than anyone in the fourth quarter, and he's ours. We've got Reggie Miller now. Spike Lee has Reggie Miller now. This is the best clutch player in the league. You fell in love with all of the Villanova stuff that we make the commercials out of, but this is how you get to stardom, kid. Can you beat Tatum in Madison Square Garden? Can you beat him?
Well, he did it in Boston twice, but can you do it at home at the Mecca?
No. Yes, he did it in Boston twice, and you knew he would. At the end of the game, he's going to get the foul shots. He's going to get the chance. Will Tatum? I don't know. We'll see. Is it going to be another fadeaway? We'll see. With your season on the line, Brunson goes back to the loudest New York and the most hopeful New York, filled with Knicks fans who give you confetti when Carmelo wins a playoff game. Knicks fans who haven't seen a Knicks closeout playoff game since 1999. Those fans, Ben Stiller and Tracy Morgan, they've been shut up for 25 years. They want so badly to howl outside of the arena, and now Jalen Brunson brings them home. This is the places where these, like, the history stuff gets written, and you remember forever, I saw Jalen Brunson become a star because I loved him when he had the Hartenstein theme, and then they broke it up, and they bought Cat, and I don't like him, and they bring Bridges, and it's 5 first-round picks, but Brunson's my guy. Brunson's the most beloved player right now in Knicks history. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're 100% right. More beloved than Willis Reed, than Patrick Ewing, and I'll tell you right now, Jason Hart is entering the top 5. He is.
Josh Hart.
Who is? Josh Hart, excuse me. Knick fans love Josh Hart.
Jason Hart played for Syracuse, though.
I know. Knick fans love Josh Hart. But right now, Jalen Brunson, I would say, if you ask Knick fans today and they're prisoner of the moment, we're wrong because it should be Ewing, it should be Willis Reed. But if you ask them today, Jalen Brunson is the greatest Knick of all time.
Walt Frazier? No love for Walt Frazier?
He should be there.
Bernard King's good.
Yeah, he might be the 5th best Knick player of all time.
Loser. Loser.
How about this?
Did nothing but lose.
How about this, Stugotz? The most popular athlete in New York City right now. More than Judge. More than Malik Neighbors? I don't know who's the next.
Maybe Soto.
Soto? Well, Soto, I don't know. He lost half the city.
Too.
Yeah.
No, he's more than Judge. Brunson's more than Judge.
More than Judge.
Brunson is clearly greater than Aaron Judge.
Are you saying Brunson is the most popular athlete in New York right now?
Bar none.
I agree.
Bar none.
Yes.
There's not a single, because Judge, here's the thing. Judge has that kind of stinker of a World Series that he's got to account for. And Brunson still hasn't failed in the play. They've lost, but it wasn't his fault. It's never been Brunson's fault because he always shows up.
So wait a second. The comedy world is mad at me? Feverishly looking through my phone like this. I need to find the parade route. I need to know exactly where I'm going through Barbados. I need to know.
You're doing this with like bejeweled and all sorts of fake jewelry.
Yeah, dressed like a clown in the back of the, and don't get me started on Barbados taxis because it doesn't cost $20 American to go everywhere. Okay, like I went like 10 blocks. $20 is way too much to go on a taxi 10 blocks. All right.
Once you're in the cab in their territory, they've got you, Bill. It doesn't matter. You're lucky it was only $20.
Put it on the poll. Yes. Once you're on the cab in their territory, do they have you?
It's a home game for them.
A bit steep for the amount of travel that we were, like 2 miles, $20 seems like a lot, but whatever. So I find out that it's actually a 10K, which is like 6 miles. But either way, I'm not prepared to be walking through the heat
dressed like a clown for 6 miles. I haven't walked 6 miles in my life, I don't think. I don't know the last time I did it. And I wasn't wearing my Fitbit, so none of the steps counted. That's the only reason I wear my Fitbit, so my steps count. But if I don't wear my Fitbit, the steps don't count. So it was a total waste of time walking through here. And I was sunburned, obviously. There was lots of
the jewelry. From the jewelry.
Oh, if I could show you the burn that
Please
I had.
Please do. Like,
oh wow! I had a giant circle here for a little bit. Yeah, there was a big circle here for a little bit. Yeah. Everyone was drinking alcohol, but I was drinking water. I thought I was going to pass out and die on the street.
You were careful and
obviously.
responsible at Carnival.
I had to pee so many times, and you had to pay extra to use the wee-wee card. You know what the wee-wee card is? I didn't. I had to ask, what is the wee-wee card? It was basically this flatbed truck with like 6 or 7 porta potties on the back of it, and you had to just kind of hop on it while it's moving, and then go into the porta potty and then hop out.
That's a heady play, man.
That's wonderful.
That sounds delightful.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Man, you guys talk about some weird time for some ads.
So what was the most awkward visually? Like where you're wearing the costume and you find yourself in an uncomfortable place in the cab? Or, like, was there any place where you were most uncomfortable wearing that stuff?
In public. I'll show you guys the pictures. I'm not putting them out there because I don't trust the internet and I don't trust these listeners because they'll just embarrass me forever if I show you the pictures. I'll show you guys. It was ridiculous. And by the way, the things that were going on in this parade.
Yes, sensual.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I saw things I've never seen before.
Baby.
Juju roast the container.
What are we asking Juju's opinion on? I would defer to him on style matters here. I don't know that he would think that many of us have any style.
He can start with Tony's outfit from yesterday.
Nah, I'm going to start with what Dan just said. Yeah, you're exactly correct, big brother.
You're going maximum Florida, man.
That's Florida.
When did you decide to start doing that? When was it encouraged? When did that become your signature? The idea that you're up there just throwing your body at the people here in a tight pair of jeans shirtless.
I was. The jeans have gotten tighter the fat I've gotten. They weren't always tight. My daughter said Baby Walrus needs to move out of skinny jeans. I started doing it just to cheer myself up because you get on the road and do like a Thursday night and you'd be like, I got a whole weekend ahead of me. This is going to be a long weekend. I'm missing my family. It's not sold out. So I would rip my shirt off and kill a beer to make myself giggle because I thought it was silly and to remind myself this should be fun. And then one night I was in Columbus, Ohio. I ripped my shirt off and killed a beer. And then something happened in the room and I forgot to put it back on. And one of the comics I respected was in the back and he was like, bro, you just did a whole hour with your shirt off.
And how does this work with comfort with your body? Because not everyone can do that. You're the first to be doing that. Not everyone is comfortable enough with their size to be in front of thousands of people shirtless like that because it is funny.
It's interesting because I have this reverse body dysmorphia. So like I heard a story, secret time. Obviously, I'll tell you, but secret time. I heard a story that Chris Pratt was a fat kid growing up and that someone told me like he'll always be fat in his head. No matter how great of shape he is, he'll always think of himself as a fat kid. I was in shape as a kid, and so I do not see myself fat at all. As a matter of fact, I think in Razzle Dazzle, I look low-key jacked. I think I look better than I've ever looked. My shoulders, dude, look at my shoulders.
You are jacked. Oh, yeah. You got some cuts right there. You see it there?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel great about my body.
The new Netflix stand-up special, Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, look at that.
Look at
Bert, stop making those
Never show your
faces.
belly button.
Yes.
Do the thing where you're,
Let's increase your female viewers.
make your boobs move.
This is a body you can get.
Razzle Dazzle is the stand-up special. How old would you have to be? What is the age if I came up to you and said, Bert, you're not going to believe this, but the new movie, Machine, it's in theaters in May, and Razzle Dazzle, a Netflix special, is happening. At what point in your career, at what age would you have said, yeah, that's a possible dream?
Oh, 50? Where I am. I didn't think any of that was going to happen. Listen, I got to be dead honest with you. I shot Razzle Dazzle in November, and I'm used to the Netflix specials, but with the Machine movie, that was sitting on a shelf. They weren't doing anything with it, and they weren't going to release it. And it wasn't until I leaked it on Rogan that it got life. And so ever since it's got life, now it's got real life, and so I didn't think the movie was ever going to come out.
Dan, Bert's got me feeling confident. You know what? I'm going to join you, Bert, taking the shirt off.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm going to have to do it, too.
I, too, was ripped when I was younger, Bert.
I have to do it,
Let's all be. Come on, bros.
Oh, man.
I don't really want to do
Round the
this,
horn.
but-
Dude, you're looking good.
The Mano Lantern.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, my
Dan's
God.
doing it too. Dano! 20 years.
This is
Take the
uncomfortable.
top off.
Oh, jeez.
All right. You are allowing us to be more comfortable with our physical
Okay.
appearances.
I have to take off my nipple sticker.
He's a pioneer and an icon.
Oh, look at
Perfectly
Dan.
haired.
Mr. Nipple.
Oh,
Perfectly
do
haired.
this
Sorry,
to
and this shirt,
everybody.
I don't know. It's like a
Really cold
routine.
in here.
Yeah,
It's
it is
reverse body
cold in
dysmorphia.
here.
Only
Yeah.
actual. It's a reverse
It's a
body
really
dysmorphia
weird
thing.
time for Jessica to come back
yeah, I
into the
wasn't
room.
Jessica.
Perfectly
Do
haired
not walk in
gentleman.
here.
Hey, Jess.
You like it, Bert?
Get out.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Why
So
are you
you.
massaging?
Andrew Luck making an appearance
cold.
there. Bert, I do want to know when you were partying, the top partier at the #1 party school in the country. What did that look like?
You're looking at
Marijuana in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Around 4. Simpsons, fried chicken, and a lot of cocktails up until about 2 a.m. Then back to my place. Goat Campbell around 3 a.m. Joint set on the Seminole Head.
I love you.
And not a lot of sex, just dudes.
The best 6.5 years of your life, Bert.
How much public nudity was there?
An aggressive amount. This is back before that was considered assault.
You can't do that. You shouldn't be. Publicly nude is probably a bad idea, but this was a different time.
I'm feeling assaulted right now.
The Pitch Clock is back on Thursday, and I am joined in person by El Extrabases, Danny Alvarez. He founded this company. We're going to learn about this digital media company that covers baseball in both English and Spanish, and he's also going to tell me about some Venezuelan superstars, a little bit about Pete Alonso, some Marlins, some not Oakland Athletics. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to get to. It's going to be great. Danny, say hi to the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz audience. Use this mic. It's fine. We didn't mic him up. It's okay. This is just a promo. But we're going to get to it. There's also really bad. Hey, there's his mic.
Follow El Extrabase.
Yeah, do that. We're going to get to some also maybe not so great trivia between me and Chris Cody. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check us out always on Thursdays and watch us on YouTube on Friday. The Pitch Clock coming at you.
Same thing happened in Orlando. I never expected any of this, man. At 44, I was fired from Travel Channel. My wife wanted to get a vasectomy. We were tearing down our house to rebuild it. I was nowhere. I got kicked off Funny or Die tour. I was making $2,000 a week on Funny or Die. Tom was making $20,000 a night, and I was like, "That's my life. I gotta accept it."
Talking Sunset Gears with comedian Rob Delaney.
I really am thrilled to be doing this, Rob, because I admire your work a great deal, and it's rare that I find somebody from afar that I've been wanting to talk to because their story seems somehow something even more admirable to me. Now, you might not view it this way. I don't know how much nobility you think there is in your story, but in watching the art that you've made and watching the life that you've chosen, it's sort of been a pleasure to watch your work grow and to see, the things that you are choosing late in life to do artistically.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, and thank you for acknowledging that I am late in my life. There's a refreshing honesty to that. I
How's it
am
feel?
45, so I'm well more than halfway.
45 is
there.
late in life?
I mean, I do think about it though sometimes. Though, like I'm definitely more than halfway done, and that's funny. Isn't that funny?
How does
But
it
yeah.
feel to be told that you're late in life by someone who is considerably older than you?
Who's a great deal older than me? It's strange. I wonder, does he know things about? Does he have access to my medical file? Has he seen things that I haven't seen?
I just feel like I feel through your art like you've lived more than I have. It's really what I'm doing there in the having of 4 kids, in the choosing work-life balance, in learning life's lesson. I just think that I was atrophied as a as a young person.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the things that that I've experienced that maybe most people haven't are, you know, I did get sober 20 years ago after going to jail after a car accident that I was responsible for, and I've stayed sober, so that's been pretty cool. I've had the unbelievable good fortune to make a living in comedy, and of course I didn't for a long time before I did, so that was challenging. And then, but the biggest thing would be that my wife and I, one of our sons got cancer and passed away a few years ago. So those are the big things that I've been through that I think, you know, are place me in sort of a strange minority. I think I covered it all.
Well, life-altering things,
Yeah.
right? Because arriving at comedy success must have been the realization of your dreams, right? You came from your comedy story. There aren't a lot of people who had comedy success the way you did, just sort of discovered by social media. I can say that, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. It came at an interesting time because I was trying very hard to get hired by, say, Jimmy Kimmel, Conan O'Brien, you know, writing jokes by the stack, by the physical paper stack, you know, because I'm submitting 2-liner jokes, you know, by the pound to try to get hired as a late night writer. So then Twitter comes along and I've got piles of jokes that no one will pay me for, no one wants. And I mean, I send them to people and they're like, no thanks, you know, or these are great, but still no thanks. And so I had a place to focus this stuff. So it was sort of a right place, right time kind of a thing. So myself and, you know, many other people around the same time figured, oh, you know, Twitter's not just for posting, you know, recipes and, you know, things like that. It can also be for jokes. And so I really lucked out that came along at the right time for me.
Vision or happenstance?
Happenstance, purely.
So you don't have success in comedy? If not for that, you're just another rejected writer writing stacks of jokes that doesn't get an avenue towards success?
Oh, you never know. I mean, I have a work ethic that I can at least say about myself. So, and I'm nice. You know, I think that might be part of being sober and having success come a little later in life. But I still am as nice as possible. So people will rehire me after they work with me. So maybe I would have had success through both my 2-pronged approach of working hard and being nice. Because that goes pretty far, you learn, after some time passes, some decades pass, and people start to evaporate. Or you get the job of somebody who, talent-wise, absolutely deserves it more, but maybe they're a jerk, you know, or they just forget to set their alarm, and then you get their job, and then, you know, screw them.
Your kindness is displayed in this segment where a 53-year-old man dressed like he's going to the Vans Warped Tour called you old.
Precisely.
He just said success later in life, and I let him slide on it. He just got done saying success later in life, and I'm like, so you acknowledge you are later than in life.
It's sunset for me.
I meant it.
I think you finessed that answer out of him.
I meant it as awkward admiration for this man has lived and learned and put down. I just see in your work that you've put down your ego, and it's beautiful to see art flourish there.
I don't know what that means, what you just said, that I put down my ego. I genuinely, can you elaborate?
I think that you are only choosing projects right now, that you have a unique freedom in comedy where you can choose projects now because Catastrophe was such a unique success. that your life story is intertwined in it. You're learning about yourself as you're telling the story. It is unfathomable, the range you show in it as someone who is producing the whole thing with a partner, but it's you guys making a hit television show cheaply that is smart and funny and layered, and you made it, and from there you can make all the choices in life. And you've lived and learned enough to know that you have to choose wisely there because you want to be with your kids and you want to have life balance, and professional ego has gotten you in trouble.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, one thing that I do now is like I'll turn down work, and my agents and stuff will be like, "Are you kidding me? Do you know how much money that would be?" But because my success came in my sunset years, and I now am like, well, but I don't need that money. Do you understand? They gave me, like, I can afford pants and eggs and things. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with more money. So I have like way less money than other people in this industry, but because I can afford to pay my rent with it, like that's my wildest dreams achieved. So I don't get lured by money now. It's, do I like the job? So yeah, for the moment, I'm very lucky in that aspect.
But what I've read about you, though, it seems like a unique Hollywood value system. Am I wrong about this?
My value system is a little bit different in that I do it by the time the project will take, because I know more about time than your average civilian, because I don't have any more of it left with one of my kids, you know? And so I don't mess around when it comes to how long will a job take or where does it shoot. Those are massively critical factors in me choosing a job. If I write anything, I make sure to set it in my neighborhood so that I can walk to it, or I write a book, which I'm doing right now, so that I can just write that in my underwear in my home, as long as my kids aren't in it, because kids don't let you do things even in your own house. But yeah, I don't do it based on prestige or money. I do it based on time, proximity.
And celebrates the legacy of Norm Macdonald. Rest in power.
Norm Macdonald passed away. It was a surprise to many. He had kept his illness a secret for 9 years. And he was one of our favorite celebrity prognosticators because he did awkward comedy, uncomfortable comedy so very well. He would insult people to their face. There has not been and will never be a greater ESPYs than Norm Macdonald doing the monologue and actually cutting through all the mythological fame bullshit and actually going after people, going after the big, powerful celebrities in a way that the audience loved, and ESPN immediately ended and regretted and got him out of there, never to host it again. But he loved awkward. He was so good at awkward, and this is the thing that always impresses me, Stugotz, because the level of discerning among stand-up comics who are great is the highest form of critique or judgment, I think, in entertainment. And when they say someone's a good comedian, that person's a good comedian. Norm Macdonald is somebody who's getting reverence today from a lot of people, but other comedians will tell you what he did was really brilliant, was genius. We had our experience with him because he would tell these long, sprawling stories, and he told, most famously, a bad beat story that was just a killer because he was a gambler, but he was a bad gambler. And one of the reasons we wanted him as celebrity prognosticator is because... Stugotz, I know, okay? We talk sports for a living. It's sort of. It's a nice life to have. We don't have very much to complain about. However, our people can't get to work. We're oversaturated with cars and people and greed, and Roy has been dying to get in. Roy has been waiting 30 years to have the Panthers feel like this. Roy is a fandom that is super rare in South Florida. When I'm not kidding that I say that Roy is a hockey media legend.
He's dejected.
No, I mean, this is not because I know he wants to. Roy doesn't actually want to talk that much ever, but he wants to talk about this team.
Roy was going to these games when this team was lousy. Roy and Walter Katz are the only two people in South Florida who have a right to be happy for this team.
Okay, look, I know this has been. Let me explain something because Roy gets angry black man just from the way that he looks. And it's so unfair to Roy because, well, he is angry.
Yeah.
And he is black. And he is a man.
But Roy doesn't talk very much on this show because he's a man of few words. And also he cares desperately about sound, how things sound. And he never wants to be the reason that whatever it is that we're singing, all of us with chemistry, is the one that gets in the way of tripping that up. So all those things conspire so that Roy has not climbed to the place in this business that I've always wished for him to be, because he's got to be very careful about when he talks so that he doesn't interrupt the song of whatever it is that we're doing. And he respects that more than anyone in the history of our show. Basically, I'd say him and Juju, and all I do every day is thank Tony for being somebody who's trying to learn that, because Tony doesn't want to interrupt anybody. Roy is really, really happy as a sports fan right now, happier than I have ever seen him, happier than in 30 years.
Well, they won the cup last year.
Well, but they didn't just win the cup.
They took that ass.
Yeah.
I think we need to remove that. I don't think that we can have a room full of dudes and do any more what Zaslow's doing about taking ass. In fact, You know
Agreed.
what? I'm going to be too woke, and I'm going to get old, let me see here.
Look at me, Leroy.
I'm going to penalize Amin with a look at me, Leroy, and I got to get to this other one here. Just
Hold on now. You have to get to Adnan.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, asshole.
You out. Okay, I'll get to Adnan in a second.
You're breaking up the Negroes.
I'll get to black knuckleballers in a second. That's the good way to introduce Adnan, actually, now that I think about it. But my point was, Roy's pissed off now because his team's down 0-2, and it took 3 hours of traffic to get in here, and now there's no time for you to talk, even with that build-up, Roy. So I'm sorry. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Adnan wants to talk hockey. Adnan wants to talk the movies. Adnan wants to talk baseball, but it seems to me that it should just be Knicks, Celtics all day today. It doesn't seem to me like anything else should be involved, but we begin in the obvious place, Adnan. Name a black knuckleballer.
Unfortunately, I cannot think of one, Dan. I've been racking my brain. I texted Kirchen. There's not one. As you said on the show previously, a black man is not going to rely on deception. He's throwing a fastball as hard as he can every goddamn time.
We grew up on Bob Gibson. We grew up on Bob Gibson. Like now with your knuckles is how you're going to beat us. First you made it the Negro Leagues, and then you made it the Negro Leagues.
Now, let me tell you guys a story. Because I may have an answer here. Now, there was a left-handed pitcher in the 80s named Danny Boone. Danny Boone just had a cup of coffee in the bigs. But after his cup of coffee, he went away. He disappeared from baseball for 5 years. In 1990, after joining a league called the Senior Professional Baseball Association, a league that only lasted for 2 years, he came back as a left-handed knuckleballer.
Wow.
And ultimately got signed by the Orioles, traded to Cleveland, and on September 30th of 1990, he made the one start that he ever made in the major leagues as a left-handed knuckleballer. He was a lefty. He was a white guy. But in the early 80s, he was traded for infielder Joe Pittman, a black man. So a transitive property, black knuckleballer.
No, that
if
is
you're
not,
white, you're white.
That
Nope,
is correct.
transitive property, black knuckleballer. That's the best we got.
No, if you're
Danny Boone.
If you're white, you're white. You're Anthony Mason, and your brother's Jay Fiedler.
And transitive property.
By the way, Dan, I haven't been able to sleep after Stugotz had the image of David Sampson having sex with Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I don't know who's Roger Clemens or Johnny Bench in that relationship.
Okay, that's enough out of you. Can we get, Chris, please?
You know.
Can we get to Paul Pierce and the sound? I just want to play the sound real quick because Paul Pierce is he's in the middle of this series, and now that Adnan has brought him up, what is the bet that Paul Pierce has made?
How confident are you?
The Celtics
tonight.
If the Celtics lose game 2 at home, I promise you, Joe, I'm walking here tomorrow. I'm walking here.
Why you gotta do that?
Wait a minute. I'm walking here 15 miles. I'm walking here.
I don't know, Keith. This is your friend.
In my robe.
Get your friends.
No shoes on.
Somebody save him.
Bare feet.
No.
If what? if the Celtics lose tonight.
He's going to regret that one. He's going to regret that one at the end. He escalated it too much.
Was that Rick Bucher?
It was Rick Bucher.
Rick Bucher.
Put it on the poll. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Was that Rick Bucher? Adnan, what a golden time in Heat basketball that was many years ago near Y2K. Adnan, you want to talk, though? I'm going to give you your choice because it's Knicks Celtics Day. What's most important to you, Sinners, baseball, or hockey? Panthers down 0-2.
I'm going to go off the board and plug my book. It's coming out August 12th from Mango Publishing, which is in Miami. They publish Greg Cody's books. I need blurbs from all of you. It's called Cinephile, Essays and Interviews on Performance, Ambition, and Art. Dan, I texted you Sunday looking for a blurb. You haven't responded. Stu, you're a best-selling author. I'll take a blurb from you. And most importantly, from Amin El-Hassan, a.k.a. Don Kang. I'll take a blurb right now. Cinephile, the book coming out August 12th.
Strictly in the United States.
Get on that blurb, Dan. I mean,
now back to the Panthers being down 0-2. I'm concerned about Sergei Bobrovsky, Dan, and I feel for my buddy Roy Bellamy. Only had 16 saves in Game 2. The Leafs, as we all know, have not won a Stanley Cup since 1967. This is a nation that has never been, prone to these kinds of moments. They haven't been up 2-0 in series back-to-back years since 1963. But they've been clicking. Joseph Woll came in last night and replacing Anthony Stollarz, who was out after Game 1 after that collision with Sam Bennett. Mitch Marner, who just became a dad.
He killed him. You can't beat the defending champions with your backup goalie when they're empirically the best third period team in the league. You can't tie the game and then give it back seconds later. That is a crusher for the champions.
I'm with you, Dan. It's one thing to say, well, Toronto held serve at home. But again, your backup goaltending in Joseph Woll comes in there with Stollarz out, and Marner's their star. He ends up scoring the game-winning goal, just became a dad for the first time. The Leaf stars have stepped up, and their supporting cast. Max Pacioretty's been great. The Panthers have had no answer for him.
Adnan, it's terrifying. Roy has been swaggering around here with bravado, and for 2 years I keep telling him, I'm afraid of all these teams in hockey. The very best ones are really great. And you can tell me all you want about Toronto's history, but I just saw them take out what I know to be a champion and deserves and is good enough to be a champion this year, knows how to do it better in the third period than any of the other teams. And you cannot give a city that kind of feeling and a country that kind of feeling at this time in America without me fearing that going back in Game 7 in Toronto is terrifying.
Not to mention the tariffs. I mean, there's a lot going on right now between our two countries. Let's be honest. But yeah. I mean, for Toronto, listen, for Florida, they're going to say a series doesn't begin until you're at home ice. They're going to have that big boost. Roy Bellamy will be there. Bill Lindsay will be there. But no one was expecting this, Dan. I thought Panthers would win this series in 6. Toronto has wrestled control impressively so far.
Well, yeah, keep in mind here that the Edmonton Oilers versus the Los Angeles Kings, they were down 0-2 and came back to win that series. So it is possible. So I'm pretty calm and collected right now.
Okay, you're still calm and collected.
We're making a big deal about a series that hasn't started yet. I mean,
okay, so
got a point.
But Adnan, you tell me, shouldn't he be a little scared? Are the Panthers that much better than Toronto that you can feel like, well, I don't have anything to worry about here. They just beat me with my backup goalie at home.
There should be palpable concern. I love Roy. I'm pulling for the Panthers, but here's why, to Dan's point. The Leafs, if ever there was a time they were going to break through, this is their year. In the past, they've had this amazing collection of offensive talent. Those guys have not been able to perform come playoff time. Austin Matthews still has yet to get going so far. Marner, Nylander scored yesterday. John Tavares. And yet this year, Craig Berube, who's a Stanley Cup winning coach, won it with the Blues back in 2019. He's instilled a more hard-nosed approach. They've improved defensively. Tanev's been a great shutdown guy for them, and they've been able to use this balance of goaltending to much success. So for Toronto, you feel like if it's not going to be this year, then whenever. The last 5-6 years, they've expected to be a stud team. They haven't made the conference finals since 1993. So Roy knows the Leafs, in terms of talent-wise, are right there with Florida. Do they have the moxie, the grit, etc.? That's the question.
Now, Adnan, I got a question for you. How much did the coach for the Maple Leafs had to tell him boys, hey, They tried to rough up our goalie. We gotta strike back. How much of a motivation you think that was in that game 2 victory for them boys?
Is that Southern hockey coach?
Yeah.
Who
Yes,
is
sir.
that? Who is
Hey, we're not gonna let them kick us around.
But Don, you're absolutely right. You know what happens, Don, when you get cuffed like that, right?
No, that's not Don. That's not Don.
It's not Dom. Dom with an M. Number 1.
Kang. I beg your pardon.
Number 2, I'm the hockey coach with a little bit of a Southern swag to him.
He thought that was Don King.
Well, you know,
I don't know who that is.
The big difference between Dom King and the head coach of a hockey team is for 2 things. Number 1, Dom King used much more flowery language. I don't. My boys can't understand it. They've been hitting on the head. Too many violent blows to the brain, if you know what I mean. And I'm quoting Rocket 5. Check out Cinephobe, wherever you get podcasts.
What kind of racist thing, Adnan? What kind of racist thing is that you're doing? That you think that Don King is the Southern hockey coach?
Dan, if you will, I was a little flummoxed by that. I was a little thrown off by it. I'm a little out of sorts. But I appreciate anybody with flowery language, with ornate language. I think Don King or Dom King have a certain ineffable.
No, it's not.
About them.
Power through, Adnan.
No, it is not Don King. It's Don Kang.
Right.
It's Dom. You know,
Con
Dan
M.
Le Batard, you get a little too big for your britches over there. You know, bless your heart. I know you're trying, but you need to relax. My name is not Dom King, who's a very fine gentleman, I might add. I know him very well from his boxing exploits. And how about them Timberwolves and Warriors? But that's not who I am. I'm the head coach of a hockey team up in Toronto, Ontario. And we like to, Toronto is what we call it, where I'm from, where in our parts. And I'm just asking the hockey expert, Adnan Burke, how much do you think factored in when I told my boys, hey, man, we're going to let them push our boy around like that?
I love the histrionics and excellent pronunciation of Toronto. Because the second T is silent. Excellent work.
I'm still confused.
What a weird character.
I'm going to try and catch Stugotz up here. Don King is the famous boxing promoter.
Thank you.
He was Dana White before Dana White. And that hair that he had on his head, electric.
As if he put his finger into a light socket.
That's correct. But that hair did that because it was trying to get away from him. He was awful. A criminal, literally. And
so bad the hair was trying to get away from
that's
him.
Correct. No, but so that's not Don King.
Okay.
That, I thought, was Don Kang. Now I'm being told that's Dom Kang. That's the first time I was learning that. I didn't know it was Dom Kang.
2 different people all along, Dan. Yeah. No, one had nothing to do with the other.
I understand that part. I just did not know that Don King was Dom Kang. But I also thought that the hockey coach that is Southern that you're playing, that Adnan thought that was Dom Kang when it was clearly a white man. It's a hockey coach. You were clearly a white man, and he thought it was Dom Kang, and I'm accusing publicly Adnan of racism.
I'm accusing you, Dan.
It's unbelievable. What the hell kind of a turn did this take? It was
Adnan, if you will.
Kang.
Adnan, if you will. I'm accusing Dan Le Batard racism. I don't see race. How do you know I'm a white coach or a black coach? I just happen to have a little Southern twang, and you just assume because it's hockey?
Tell him.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, the first family of baseball is the Negroes, and they love hockey too. Adnan, as you were, how much did I factor in when I told them boys, hey, man, they're not going to push our boy around like that?
It was a huge part of it. There's no question about it. When a team gets pushed like that, you know what it's like in the ring. You know, you take their punch, you got a counter punch, come back strong. You're absolutely right. Dom, whatever the hell your name is.
That's not my name. Come on. Wait, what are y'all doing? I coach a hockey team.
That's it. Yes, call him coach.
Coach. Yes, exactly. When in trouble, Stu's right. Just go ahead and coach. Excellent advice there, Coach. By the way, I also want to mention the NHL draft lottery, Stu. This is for you. This took place this week. Everyone's been talking about the NFL draft. I want to mention the NHL draft. The lottery took place. John Buchagras in the studio in Secaucus, New Jersey. Your New York Islanders.
Yes.
A 3.5% chance to get the number 1 pick. 3.5% chance. They were number 10, and they got the number 1 pick overall. Unbelievable story. They're going wild in Long Island. But I got to tell you, there are no Robert De Niro's in this draft, nor are there any Al Pacinos. But congratulations to the Islanders.
My name is Craig Berube, by the way. I'm the coach of the Maple Leafs. Berube. They tell me it's Cajun.
He was a white man, and Adnan was racist there. And I'm gonna stay entrenched on this. I don't like calling my friends racist. Certainly not privately, not publicly.
Santa Claus's hat Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great one, actually. Yes.
John Olerud's helmet.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Just the helmet. Yes. Yes. That he wore at first base.
I am open-mouthed with awe because I just realized, taught by you guys, put it on the poll, Juju, is Santa's hat the greatest of all the hats?
It's either that
So,
or Yankee hat.
Bear Bryant, come on.
Whose hat is
Really?
better, Santa's or Bear Bryant's, is an excellent poll question.
It's going to be Bear Bryant, Dan. I trust those Southern boys. Come on, Craig Berube, talk to me.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I wish they let us wear hats in hockey. They be telling us you can't wear that. That might confuse the customer. I said, well, no, why come Bear Bryant could wear that hat? Why come Vince Lombardi can wear one, but I can't wear no hat indoors, huh? My name is Craig Berube, and I'm the coach of the Maple Leafs.
It's Baby Billy. There's some Baby Billy in there. I can hear him. He's trying to get out. Berube. Roy, you're scared, and you're full of shit.
Bullshit. I'm not scared. I don't know what you're talking about. Chichi Rodriguez.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's a hell of a hat.
I thought he was doing serial killer.
Chi-Chi, too nice.
It is, you're right, but I just hear 3 syllables now, and I think Carl Anthony Towns, serial killer. You guys fell into something I wasn't expecting yesterday.
By the way, hey, Dan, do you think Don Baylor sounds like a serial killer? I know it's not 3 names, but I think Don Baylor is pretty intimidating.
Donald Baylor.
Ooh.
Donald Baylor. Yes, is better. Yes.
John David Booty.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There you go. You got a winner right there.
That's the guy that shot the president. John David Booty shot the president.
Boof Bonzer. Come on.
Oh, that's a great one.
Isn't today a day that we should be only talking about Celtics Knicks? Adnan comes here with his baseball. He wants to talk about Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Why'd you just shout that at me?
Look, I want to tell you, Dan, real quick.
Hold on. I was saying baseball, and I was introducing the idea of it. Why did you shout Aaron Judge before I said Aaron Judge?
Because what he's doing right now, Dan, is incredible. He's hitting 400, a 491 on base percentage, and a 750 slug. Nice, easy round numbers for everyone to understand. 1241 OPS. He's been the best player in baseball. He's got the most home runs with 12. He's got the most RBI with 34. I understand the Celtics and the Knicks rivalry. I get it. Maybe Brunson's the biggest star in New York. I heard Amin's point. I'm with you. But I'm telling you, Aaron Judge is on a historic pace right now. He's a 2-time MVP. He's never been better.
Now, I have a question to you. Oh, boy. You're admitted by your own words there that the Jalen Brunson is more popular. I don't know much about basketball, hockey, or baseball. I'm a hockey man myself. Yeah, but you're saying that Jalen Brunson is more popular than Aaron Judge, and you are the baseball man, so if you said it, it goes.
Well, I'll tell you this, Craig. In New York, not everyone is a Yankees fan. Of course, we have Mets fans. So, there's Juan Soto supporters. There's Francisco Lindor. Pete Alonso right now is on a revenge tour like Taylor Swift. He's been incredible. He's got the second best OPS in all of baseball. But the Knicks, that kind of unites the city. And this team has been so trash for so long. Let's be honest. I think that Brunson right now is the biggest star in the city.
This is the only team that brings New York together. The Jets and the Giants, people are split there. Mets and Yankees, Islanders and Rangers. This is the team that makes New York the happiest. This is the team that brings all New York sports fans
I know,
together.
but what's crazy about watching it, if you understand the history of this, it's truly nuts. If you understand that New York hasn't actually felt like winners very often. They feel like winners for a reason. It's the Yankees. It's always been the Yankees. It's only the Yankees.
It's been the Yankees, occasionally the Giants, once in a while the Mets, and that's about it. Yeah, the Islanders in the 80s.
But when I associate a region with its excellence and the obnoxious it thinks it's earned from that excellence, the loudest of the New Yorkers is loud because of the Yankees. And what Stugotz is telling you is true from this angle. And obvious, I might add. Aaron Judge is Barry Bonds, and Brunson dwarfs him. Yes. And I can't believe I'm saying that. In that town, baseball has always been what's mattered. Aaron Judge can't become the star that Brunson can become because he's playing the wrong sport.
Latrell going on a killing spree well?
Well, he just killed it right there, folks. It was good while it lasted.
What about Goose Gossage? Mordecai Three Finger Brown.
That sounds like a mobster.
Yeah.
Cocoa Crisp. Come on.
Cereal.
Hey, Adnan, while we have you here, you're a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Adnan!
Miro's in here.
He's not wrong. He's
Okay.
not wrong.
Yes.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, but he's not right entirely. You know what I'm saying? Like, Aaron Judge is him.
Yes.
He's putting up his story. They're stupid. It's like when I play MLB The Show 2021 on easy. You know what I'm saying? On rookie mode. That's what he's doing out there. It's spectacular. It's insane. It's crazy. But this baseball season is so long and it's so early in the season that maybe, he's not getting the attention he deserves. But he's out here doing robot shit, bro. It is insane. It is like AI baseball. Like, yo, ChatGPT, can you make the best baseball player ever in the world and make him biracial? You know what I'm saying? With broad appeal.
I love the backup. The Kid Miro, preach. I love it.
But it's crazy to watch this giant be Barry Bonds in that uniform and sort of say, oh, we're really fighting America and Japan and Dodgers, Yankees over who got the biggest payroll. Aaron Judge drops a fly ball, and he says, Ohtani, you pitch too. Okay, it's me and you at the top of the sport. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get better.
Do it in the playoffs, Dan, because right now Jalen Brunson is doing it in the playoffs, and he's doing it in Boston. Not even at home. He's doing it in Boston, man.
That is what gives him a slight edge, bro. It's in Boston. We all hate Boston. I think everybody in the Zoom can be like, enjoy hands and shake hands and be like, yo, we all hate Boston. Nobody likes Boston, bro. Two people like Boston, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And Katie, shout out to Katie Nolan. She likes Boston too, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else likes Boston. Look, he got a Knicks jersey on. You know what I mean? Notorious hater, got a Knicks jersey on, bro. He's out here supporting, showing love. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson is him. You know? Jalen Brunson is him. Like y'all said, he's doing it in the playoffs. He's doing it in Boston, in the most hated place, the fake garden, bro. He's over there torching everybody, and he's we're the same height. He's 6'2". You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't even be doing this, bro. He's embarrassing Jason Tatum, dog. Come on, stop it. Stop it. He's the king of New York right now. That's it.
So there we have
He's
it.
not paying for food.
Yeah,
He's not doing any of that.
So he just said it. It's Jalen Brunson 1.
Yes.
Aaron Judge is 2.
Easily.
Oh,
Yes,
but
right now.
but I went a step further. I said that Brunson's already the most beloved Knick there's ever been.
No.
Oh, no. You're crazy. That's wild. Dan, time out.
No,
There's a lot of
up
Knicks
there. Miro is up there, man. Come on.
Who
He's
you
up
gonna
there.
say?
He's definitely up there.
Who you gonna say?
He's definitely up there. Yo, y'all seen Pat walking into the arena yesterday looking like a Jamaican uncle. That is the number one most beloved Knick of all time, hands down, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Truly. And like
Lies.
Truly,
Lies.
Yo, listen.
Miro?
The Knicks fans that we are talking to right now. I'm not talking about the 11-year-olds in the game with their dad. Jalen Brunson is their guy. Okay? But for me, 40-year-old man, Knicks fan forever has been suffering silently, just watching Jamal Crawford cross people up in 2006, hoping, you know what I'm saying, that maybe we cover. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys are Pat Ewing guys.
I'm gonna say this right now. You a Pat Ewing guy now, and you were in 2006 because you realized, oh shit, we had it good and we didn't enjoy it when Pat was playing. What's the Joe Budden line? Can't be like Pat Ewing looking back at that layup. They were booing Pat. They were giving Pat shit. It's the reason why Pat didn't sign autographs. It's why he didn't sign autographs. It's why he didn't take pictures, because he remembered every single thing, all the shit tall people said at the time. So if we're talking about in the moment, active Knicks, Jalen Brunson is more beloved than Patrick Ewing was. In the moment.
Right, in the moment. When they played. Right, because now it's a different generation. I mean, back in the day, you couldn't just tweet at Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if there was social media back then, the hate versus love would be more balanced. You know what I'm saying? There would definitely be a lot of Pat Ewing Glazers. Yeah, hell yeah. If they had Twitter back then in the 90s, there would be like hashtag Pat Ewing is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Like hashtag Hoyas New York legend. You know?
Hashtag dunk
it. Yeah. I mean,
hashtag 8.9 seconds. Look, Twitter would not have made things more positive. We know that for a fact. There's no era in time in history where it's like, you know what we needed to make things more positive? Twitter.
Adnan, you got an opinion, Adnan? Patrick Ewing, Jalen Brunson, most beloved Knick ever. Settle the debate between these two people who don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, boy.
I beg your pardon?
Listen, I think Amin's right. It's revisionist history. The Knicks didn't know how good they had it back in 1994 with Ewing and Starks, and they didn't realize that was the heyday. They didn't realize now, clamoring for this Knicks-Pacers potential Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, they didn't realize, hey, this is going to be our moment. So, yeah, when you're looking through the rose-colored glasses, Ewing's the most beloved. But I'm telling you, Brunson is like Mercury right now. Nothing is hotter than this guy. I think he's the most beloved.
You guys don't get it, Miro. Hear me out here, okay? Because with Patrick Ewing came expectations, right? And if I told you the second they drafted Ewing, we would never win a title with Ewing, you would have been upset, okay? And it turned out that we never won a title with Ewing. Jalen Brunson was
whose fault is that?
Jalen Brunson was Jordan's fault. Jalen Brunson was an afterthought. He was a guy that Dallas didn't want, and he's exceeded every expectation.
You guys are missing that
Knicks
part.
fans have had for Jalen Brunson.
You guys are all missing that part. No,
I agree with.
No, but you guys are. This is the
He's
part.
an underdog, and New York loves an underdog story.
It's Mero.
But everyone said that was a miss. Everyone said they should have signed Donovan Mitchell, and everyone said, "Oh, Brunson, he's not going to be good." People are crushing the move. Oh, the Knicks overpaid, and he's been unbelievable. He's been underpaid.
Yep.
Stugotz is so right about this, though. The part you guys are missing, and Mero sounding like Unc is out here, old man saying, I know what Ewing limped through. I know how close they were. I know how he was betrayed by management.
I'm in the strip club with him. I seen him.
And I know how he fought the Heat, and I know that it wasn't really his fault. It's just what Stugotz said. It was Jordan. It was Jordan. He was doing it to everybody. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing you're missing. Nobody loves the Giant. Ewing was physically bigger than everyone else. This is the smallest dude on the court. New York,
all the time.
New York so badly wants to be an underdog, and you can't be, and you're not, but you stink. With Ewing, you didn't stink. Everyone thought you should win. Nobody thinks you can win, and it's the smallest guy on the court who's making you believe it.
And it's delicious. It's delicious. It's like my cafecito in the morning, bro. It hits like crack. Bro, put it in my veins. You know what I'm saying? Every time they tip the ball off, everybody's like, oh, Karl Anthony Towns, he's so soft. He's so zesty. Look at him. Oh, Jalen Brunson's so small. He's not the best player on the court in the series. Boo, 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 boo. And then 48 hours later, those takes are ice cold, bro.
Miro, I asked Sam Miro this the other day. I'm asking you the same question. Rank these shots for me. Allen Houston against the Heat. Larry Johnson, 4-point play. Jalen Brunson to send the Pistons home. Rank them for me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
LJ, Jalen.
Allen Houston.
That Houston shot would be one for me. Yeah, it'd be one for me. Yeah.
Listen, it was in the moment, right? But like in my mind, I was like, we're not winning all of this. We're not going all the way. Like, even then, as a kid in 99, I was like, yo, we're going to make a run, but we're not going all the way because the Spurs are unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And, like, we weren't ready for them. We didn't have Pat. Like, all this stuff was going on. It was a short season, yada, yada, yada. So it was kind of weird. It was kind of like how people argue about the bubble championships versus, you know what I mean? So it was like a weird thing. LJ 4-point play? Like
crazy.
I mean, like, still, like, even though it was like the same situation, it was just the energy, and it was in the Garden. It wasn't supposed to happen. LJ not known for shooting threes. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. None of this was supposed to happen, and then it happened. And the way the arena erupted, I think like I had just like had like a different type of sexual experience with a girl for the first time. So I don't know if I'm like conflating these two things, but it was a special time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it matters a lot.
Hey, Adnan, you're a Star Wars fan.
He has a book out as well.
You got a book coming out, Cinephile, soon, wherever you get books. Adnan, Stugotz and I have dueling people in sports with names that connote Star Wars. We wanted you to kind of help us, judge it.
I mean,
I can't wait. We just had May the 4th be with you. I'm all in. Let's talk Star Wars. Let's go.
So you celebrate that lame holiday? You dress up like a Star Wars?
I'm not I dress up like an Ewok, Stu.
That's wild.
Ewok.
We can't do that. That's not allowed.
I'm not walking around like C-3PO. It's a little strange.
Miro, thank you. You can't do it. It's strange, right?
It's not allowed, bro. You could do like something like you could buy like some Star Wars branded thing, like an iced tea, something. Like, and be like, hey,
walk around like Chewbacca all day.
Yeah, that's wild. That's OD. Like, if you go to work with like a lightsaber,
right?
Come on, gang. Like,
it's not a lightsaber in your pocket. You're just happy to see me. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You got to wear a clear bag to work because you got all kinds of accoutrement. Like, weird wrinkly skin to be like, I'm Yoda. Like, bro, cut it out. We're all going to Burger King for lunch.
David Berkowitz, general manager, St. Louis Cardinals.
Jesus,
I like that one.
Adnan, you are a person who dresses up as Roger Federer when Federer plays tennis.
That's true. He's got you there.
You got me, Stu. Guilty charge. Nike headband, mimicking
Put the pictures in the
play,
chat.
pantomiming.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I need the pictures. Send us the pictures. It's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen an adult sports fan do.
Stugotz, do you have any
Listen.
OLIs?
I do. I have 2.
Okay, I've got 2 as well. Go ahead. We're alternate, you and me.
Okay.
First OLI.
Brett Lightsaber Hagen.
Great.
Darth Maul Pierce.
Oh,
Very good.
Tyrone Arlu D2.
OG1 Anu Kenobi.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
All right, number 5, Stugotz.
Anakin Sorenstam.
Gareth Bale Organa.
Number 4, Vita Blubaka.
Number 4, Kylo Renteria.
Number 3, Michelle Weep3O.
Number 3, Grievous Vasquez.
That's just his name.
Exactly.
That's just his name. Number 2, Leon Bobalette.
Number 2, Jabba Chamberlain.
Great one.
Number 1,
good.
Lando Calrissian Jr.
That one's tough to say.
Number 1, Glenn Yoda. He's the NBA editor for The Athletic.
That doesn't work. That's pathetic. Get out of here. I mean, what?
Major penalty, 5 minutes. Ruining comedy.
It's a person only you know. Someone named
5 minutes in the
Yoda.
box.
Lots of NBA writers know who he is.
We've got a penalty, 5 minutes. Major
Yeah, listen,
asshole.
I wouldn't be a Mero Pierce on the show if I didn't somehow shoehorn some Dominicanness into this whole shit. And I want to let y'all know that right now in the NBA playoffs, there are 2 Dominicans battling it out
That's right.
as big men.
That's right.
And that's Al Horford
That's
and
right.
Karl Anthony Towns. They are going at it and they are performing, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So
We are represented in the NBA
all
right now.
So I've got a couple of difficult.
República Dominicana!
Okay, I heard you the first time. Adnan, thank you for being on with us. We
Yeah.
appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, guys. Buy the book, Cinephile, August 12th, and pay the construction workers.
I've got 2 questions for you here,
Blurbs,
Mero. They are
Yes, sir.
They are difficult questions to answer. They're going to be escalating in nature and tension. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Jalen Brunson is already more popular and beloved than my Dominican brother, Karl Anthony Towns, which makes me choose Jalen Brunson over my Dominican community.
No, because we have not yet seen the heights that Karl Anthony Towns can get to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what we got. We got a closer in Jalen Brunson. And like you said, you can't be the underdog and be a giant. And this guy wears size 21 shoes, which is very large. You know what I'm saying? So, but my Dominicanness.
What are you saying?
Prevents me.
What are you saying? What are you saying about the shoe size? What are you saying about
he's
the shoe size?
He's a large dude.
Carl,
he's a big dude.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
What are you saying about Karl Anthony Towns why do you know his shoe size?
Because he has the largest feet in the NBA. That's what I've heard.
Why do you know that? Why do you care about that? Because you're proudly Dominican. Because you're proudly Dominican.
Yes. So anytime you could be number one in anything, in any category as a Dominican, I'm going to highlight that. So he has the biggest feet in the NBA. So he's number one in foot size. You know what I mean? Probably also number one in shooting percentage for anybody over 7 feet tall.
That's crazy. That. So that's nice, right? You've got basically an extraterrestrial playing for you, and he's your second best player. But I'm going to ask the question again. You're telling me that Jalen Brunson is not more popular and beloved than your Dominican brother? Yes, he obviously is.
It depends. It depends where in New York you are.
Oh, okay.
It depends where in New York you are. If you're a Dykeman, forget it.
¿Qué lo que lo mío?
That guy is super. Dime a ver, ¿qué lo que es mío?
Aquí, dame luz. ¿Cómo está la cosa?
Suave, loco. 2-0. Boston, para abajo. Ya tú sabes que lo que es.
Ryan
Yeah,
Terrier
mierda
sounds
pa'
like a
Boston,
serial
coño.
killer.
No. So you're telling me this. You got Dominicano on one side, but you have your OG Dominicano
Yes.
on the other side. I know that there's a
Yes.
little piece of your heart without
Like passing the torch.
Con el Tigre.
It's passing the torch.
El
You know what I'm saying?
viejo,
It's
no,
just
el
like, yo,
tigre, no, el viejo.
No,
El
no,
El
no,
viejo,
Tigrazo, no,
el
he's still getting it done.
No,
He's
el
still getting it
viejo.
done.
He's the
but-
OG.
No, he's the OG, but he's 0 for 8 with people 6 feet from him. Like,
Take it
he's
easy.
like,
What are you doing? That's just numbers. Who
No,
cares about
guys,
that?
Guys, come on, guys.
That's not what he does.
Guys, look,
That's not what he does.
the Celtics do
He
not
throws
look,
picks.
Tira de tres, Dan.
I know I'm going to blaspheme against Stugotz here. Al Horford is his favorite player, and I know Mero loves him.
I'm
for,
okay this time
for,
around.
No, a lot of different reasons, but I'm just here to tell you, if Porzingis is out for this series, and what they need is old man Al Horford to give him too many minutes, El Viejo is going to put them in trouble.
No,
and,
él acaba.
and Stugotz is going to be in trouble on what his allegiances are, because Al Horford has no bigger or better public national supporter than Stugotz. It's more than you, Mero. If you guys want to do who's more Dominican, Stugotz or Mero, in their love for Al Horford, I
Let's do
choose Stugotz.
Okay.
Yes, I choose.
What you got?
All right, you want to do a Dominican off? All right, let's do a Dominican off with Mero.
No, eso tuyo, loco. Eso
Where's the
tuyo.
hookah?
Ya tú ganas. Listen to me. If you take Karl Anthony Towns, Uptown, Washington Heights, Dykeman area, he is more popular than Jalen Brunson. Just for the simple fact that he is a star for the Knicks. Like you said, the second best player on the team. Well known. You know what I'm saying? I would say, like, let's look at the jersey sales. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know what I'm saying? If there was like a temperature map of jersey sales,
I thought that.
it is.
You know
it
what?
is lava red.
You know
on
what?
Washington Heights.
I made a mistake. I underestimated your Dominican and I underestimated your people. But now I'm going to put you in a more difficult spot because I know you love your Dominicans, but I also know you love your money. I know you love your money.
Oh, boy.
All right, yes. So here's the question
I know where
for
this is
you.
going, man.
Yes,
Oh, man.
7 p.m. in Brooklyn is the show he does with Carmelo Anthony. It is very popular. It is very
Yes,
good.
sir.
And Carmelo Anthony, you may have heard, once upon a time was a very beloved and popular Knick. But I believe there's
Still is.
Wait.
Hold on a sec.
I believe there is a Knick right now playing in town who has already surpassed Carmelo Anthony, your business partner. He is more beloved than Carmelo Anthony. So I would like for you to say publicly in front of all to hear, and I would like you to choose between Dominicans and dollars when you tell me.
Careful.
I believe that Jalen Brunson is right now more beloved and more popular than Carmelo Anthony, and I believe he did it in the last 3 games. I want you to make it. I want you to make it official. I want you. It's the last 3 games combined with how much you loved him last year. You changed the whole team. You're ready for them to betray you because you're not good at home. Nobody trusts Karl Anthony Towns. Even fewer people trust Bridges, but you got Brunson.
I do.
You got Brunson. You do, but nobody else trusts Bridges.
We trust Bridges.
Listen.
Yes.
We trust Bridges, and I don't care. I'll say it here. I know we're not supposed to curse. Y'all gonna edit this out. Fuck them picks, bro. I do not care. I do not care. I don't care if there's the best 6th grader in the world out there right now that they made in a lab, and he's a combination of Shaq and KD and it's Steph Curry. I don't care. F them picks. Mikal Bridges won us those last 2 games with clutch defense in crunch time, bro. When is the last time you heard the Knicks won the game in crunch time with defense? When's the last time you heard that, bro? Patrick Ewing days, bro. The 90s. You know what I'm saying? And now we're back.
Miro, let me
But
ask.
to answer the question.
He didn't answer the
Hold
question.
on, wait,
Amin.
but before
To answer the question.
Hold on. Mean's got some context.
Okay,
Okay.
I want to, just because he said I don't care about them picks. What if we go in the future and it's like Milwaukee was like, we would have traded Giannis to the Knicks, but they didn't have those picks anymore, and we needed picks.
Hey, yo, run and dunk can stay there. Run and dunk can stay Milwaukee.
Run and dunk.
Run and dunk can stay Milwaukee. You can go to the Lakers. You can do whatever you want, champ. I don't care. The Knicks are solid. We are good. We are good. And plus, Tibbs don't play more than 6 guys anyway. So even if he did sign them, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else is going to sit on the bench. We got Mitch. We got Josh. We got JB. We got Kat. We got Mikal. We got a whole bunch of other dudes. We are good. We are good. We got OG Anunoby. Come on, dog. Like, he is, like, emotionless. He's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy is dunking everything. It's like the opposite of Pat. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of doing a layup, this guy's dunking everything. I thought he was going to hurt himself, dog. In that Sistine Chapel dunk where he just was like this. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't do that again. Please don't do that
I
again.
won't. That was my Muriel moment on the show.
Don't do that again.
Muriel,
please.
let me try it this way, okay? You host a podcast 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
If I told you
My
right
dog.
now you could switch out Carmelo and insert Jalen Brunson, would you do it?
Listen, it's different guys.
¿Qué fue eso? Se rayó el disco.
¿Qué es eso?
So there's two different guys.
I
Two
feel
different
bad for
guys. Two
asking.
different styles of play.
Yeah.
Two different styles of play.
My dad,
You know what I'm saying?
has a counter for you on that. You sound like my father there. What was that? What was that sound you made? What? How is
That's called patinando. That's called patinando.
How is
That's the
Stugotz
Spanish
able
word
to
of the day.
corner you? You're very good at this. He just trapped you, and you had no rebuttal. You're
was a
very
terrible
good.
spot. I put
You're
my friend
very
in a
good at
terrible spot.
talking. You got out of the bodega because you're a
my
good
Dominican,
talker.
I did not expect this from a fellow Dominican.
I know.
I did not expect to be cornered. You know what I'm saying? I have to flight my way out of this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not expect that.
Who's
You know
more?
what I mean? Like,
Answer the
Dominican to
question.
Dominican, this is
Who's
wild.
more beloved, Jalen Brunson or
Right
Carmelo
now,
Anthony?
Jalen
Not
Brunson.
right,
Right
now.
now,
No,
Jalen Brunson.
no, not right, now.
Right now.
No, not right now.
At their peaks. At their peaks.
At their peaks.
Okay. At their peaks. Have we seen Jalen Brunson speak? We're not even in the Eastern Conference Finals yet.
Right. Fair
So,
point.
so he's already
saw Melo in the Eastern Conference.
so he's already past Carmelo because Carmelo lost all these games.
I think Carmelo would tell you in terms of popularity, yeah, he's past me.
And let him answer the question.
Sorry.
Well, that's my Dominican brother. He can speak for me. You know?
Trying to help you out. I put you in a bad spot. Yeah. Come here, Brugal.
I'm trying to Mama Juana. Listen, so yes, in terms of popularity, because of the way the world is structured today, Jalen Brunson is more popular than Carmelo Anthony. I said that qualifier in front of it to confuse y'all so that it doesn't look like I'm saying anything slanderous or
You don't want to
bad
be
about my brother
aggregated.
Carmelo
No,
Anthony.
this is what's happened. He's made this such a mess that he can't be aggregated. So I'm going to ask the question again. Are you willing?
See, you're trying to clip it out.
Are you? Yes, but you know this, and you're playing kung fu with me. So the question again. New episodes every week on their YouTube channel. It's at 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and it's delightful. He's created something out of nothing next to a hero of his, and it's just great to watch the interactions where fan and cultures meet. But his business partner is less beloved in New York than Jalen Brunson.
Yes. I think, you know what's crazy? I think Jalen's popularity has actually helped Melo's popularity because, you know, Knicks fans, once a Knick, always a Knick. And Melo came here when it was just like, all right, bro, what are we doing? Like, and we had a 2012, 2013, don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Scoring champ, defensive player of the year, J.R. Smith, sixth man of the year, new episode coming soon. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's Jalen Brunson. And I agree, yes. He may have surpassed Melo now in terms of popularity because of what he's been doing on the court and because, again, we in New York, and New York loves the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys, we are the same height. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'2", and I'm like the tall guy when I walk in the room, but not when in the NBA locker room.
Él está jugando los dos lados.
You know? And he's in there in the post shit, footwork, bro. He's playing under the rim. He's just step back three, bro. That again, like the shot to send Detroit home is
this is the thing. No, but this is what I'm saying. These are moments. He's already got the moment Tatum doesn't have. He got it in the last period.
But Tatum has a ring, Dave.
Yeah, but he's got but Stugotz, this part's important. The ring is important. I will grant you, but a ring without moments, man, that's marrying somebody with no scrapbook.
That's true. But this is the thing. Moments matter almost more than a chip because did the Yankees win the World Series last year? No, they did not. But everybody remembers Juan Soto sending them there in that at-bat against Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Everybody remembers that. That's a moment.
Put it on the poll. What's remembered more, championships or moments?
Willy Wonka's hat had Hall of Fame. Strong.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go
the
down.
Willy Wonka hat, bro. That's crazy.
Let's go down on this.
Melo's high game is untouchable, though.
Do you have, Mero, 10 more minutes or do you have to go? Because Tony was trying to get in with something that would have been fun for you, Hispanic, and I didn't have room for it.
Let's do it.
Oh, no, because